loves, welcome to my channel Son of Stars and welcome to today's pick a card reading. For anybody who's new, my name is Cynthia and we're going to tap into the energy of your true love and your future spouse today, okay? So as you can tell by the title, I want to look at how your future spouse will feel about you the first time that they see you, or maybe for example you guys go on a date for the first time and when they drive home, what are they going to feel, what are they going to think, okay? For others of you, because there's a little twist, I already know what's going on with the cards. For others of you, it's just the energy of like, what do they feel when they look at you or when they spend time with you, but specifically like the beginning of your love story. So again, when they see you for the first time, when you guys go on a date for the first time, just the beginning stages, how your future spouse is going to feel about you, or how they're going to view you, or what are they going to notice about you, okay? So basically, what are they thinking and feeling in the beginning stages of meeting you, seeing you for the first time, maybe seeing you for the first time like physically, you know, because you can see somebody like online for the first time and then see them physically standing in front of you. So I'm super duper excited. This pick a card reading is also going to have an extended. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do in the extended. I'm thinking that we're maybe just going to ask Spirit what they want you to know about your future spouse, maybe what they're currently going through, or maybe there's hidden information, or maybe we're just going to dive into something that popped up in the reading on YouTube. And for example, there is something like, oh, there's like a secret, or there's like a twist or something along those lines. And then I'm going to look at the twist on Patreon, because I tend to do very long readings. Okay, so there could also be a part 2 of the reading from YouTube on Patreon in case somebody's interested. The link is down in the description box. But I don't want to talk too much, guys. We're going to tap into the energy of your true love and your future spouse. We're just going to see whatever pops up. What are they feeling? What are they thinking when they look at you after your first date, after they see you for the first time, after the first time of like, definitely like when they look at you, when they, you know, drive home, after they saw you, after they met you, okay? So I'm going to see you in your reading, guys. Hello my lovely pal number 1, welcome to your reading, guys. So we're going to look at the energy of your true love and your future spouse today. Specifically, how are they going to feel about you when you met for the first time? This could be you guys going on a date for the first time. As they drive home, how do they feel about you? How do they feel when they look at you? Yeah, so this is what we're going to look at. How is your future spouse going to feel, especially like in the beginning stages where you guys talked for the first time, you guys met for the first time, okay, and they drive home. How are they going to feel about you? How are they going to see you, okay? What are they going to think about you? That's what we're going to look at today, pile number 1. So give me a moment here, guys. If you're new to my channel, I usually channel the energy first and then I show you the cards here and there, so I don't just jump right into it. I usually let like the energy come to me. So let's see what's happening here. So first of all, guys, I feel like your love story is gonna be interesting with your true love and your future spouse, because I almost want to say that your future spouse and your true love is gonna see you first before you notice them. So this is the type of energy where you guys work in the same building, but maybe or you guys work in the same street, or this is the type of energy where your future spouse is already around you and you didn't notice them. So for some of you guys, you already know your future spouse, or your future spouse is already around you, okay? Because we have the card here, you're feeling the energy of your future spouse and your true love. They're close. Keep up your great work, okay? So for some of you guys, the first thing that I want to tell you is that I feel like your true love and your future spouse is already around you, or again, they might just be like living in the same neighborhood as you, or they might be working in the same building as you, but maybe in a different department or on a different floor. This is the type of energy that I pick up here first, where your future spouse sees you first. So your future spouse is going to see you first before you notice them, and I feel like they're going to observe you, okay? So there's a little twist here. It's not like your future spouse sees you the first time on a date. They already see you, or they already have a crush on you long before they actually approach you, or long before you guys actually talk. Okay, so again, this is the type of, like, I'm hearing like a secret admirer. Your future spouse, they're gonna be in a secret admiration type of energy, where again, they already see you, they already saw you somewhere. And if you guys watched other future spouse readings of me, and you remember that, because I feel like in a different pick a card reading, I talked about how your future spouse, there's like a little twist to who your future spouse is, or you're gonna be surprised because they're gonna tell you, hey, I remember your face. We met like 1 year ago at a party, and maybe this is the type of energy where, for example, you guys meet somewhere and then you have like a typo with your phone number, or they have a typo with your phone number, and then you guys never meet each other again because there was a typo in the phone number. And then there's like this energy of like trying to find you. So I pick up like an energy again, something about you already have talked to your future spouse, you already have seen them. For some of you guys, this is also an energy of like you already saw them in your dreams, kind of like where your dream was very accurate, showing you the face of your future spouse, or the other way around. If they're not living around you, if they're not in your neighborhood or in your friend circle, they could have already had a dream, in case they are psychic or they have tendencies to have psychic abilities. They could have already had a dream of you, so it's seeing your face, so they're gonna be shocked when they see you in real life, okay? So again, the first thing that I want to tell you guys is that your future spouse is gonna be in love with you long before you know about it, or they're gonna have a crush on you long before you know about it. The reason why I say that is because we have here workplace romance, okay? So it's kind of like hidden information. We're going to talk about how they feel about you, but again, there's like a lot coming through, so I'm just going to say whatever comes through. So there could also be very random messages here. So we have here workplace romance, and it says common cause connection. Okay, for some of you guys, this is going to be a workplace romance, or again, something about where they've seen you before. They've seen you get a coffee at Starbucks before, okay, and they've noticed you, like they've looked at you and they were like, wow. For some reason, I feel very, very drawn to this person, okay? For others of you, we have the friend zone here, okay? So for some of you guys, this person is in your friend circle, or there's like the case of you both act as though you're just friends because you don't know how the other person feels, but you're actually supposed to be like wife and husband, or wife and husband and husband, or something about you guys meeting each other through common friends, okay? So again, for a lot of you guys, your future spouse will have a crush on you long before you know about it. They would tell you, hey, I remember your face, and you're like, where? I've never seen you before. Or maybe you do know them. For some of you guys, you have no idea who your future spouse is, but again, they've already seen you. For example, this reminds me of at my old workplace, where there was this guy and he was always looking at me, but we never talked to each other. He was like a French guy working in like a cuisine, like a French cuisine. That's the type of vibe that I pick up here, where they've already observed you, okay? They had a crush on you very, very long, for a long time. Or again, they've seen you like get your coffee every morning, you know, and maybe they've been like across the street or something along those lines. But again, they had their eyes on you long before you knew about it, and they might be telling you like, hey, you know, I've seen you get coffee every morning at this place, or I remember your face. Don't you remember we've met each other 1 year ago at your friend's garden party? And you're like, oh my god, I was so drunk, I don't remember. Do you know what I mean? Or kind of like where around the time where you guys met, maybe you've been in a relationship with somebody else, so they have just been looking at you, but they didn't talk to you, they didn't approach you. Does that make sense? So there's some type of like twist to who your future spouse is. For a lot of you guys, they're already close to you, or they already are around you. You maybe even have seen them before, or maybe you have been like in your thoughts and they just passed by and you're like, oh, he looks nice, but then you were back into your thoughts and it was actually your future spouse, which is, I feel like it's so funny that I picked this up here, because we also have the card here, Peekaboo. Okay, and it says they enjoy a little mystery. So you see there's some type of like mystery, or they are hidden. They keep themselves hidden. For example, they could have also had a crush on you when you were in a relationship, but they, you know, respected your relationship and they waited until it was their turn to approach you. That's the type of vibe that I pick up here, okay? Because it says peekaboo. They enjoy a little mystery, keeping the element of surprise alive. Don't reveal it all until they're fully engaged. You see, so with the peekaboo, it's kind of like, oh my God, you know, like, I didn't notice you, or maybe you are, I don't know, working on something, because again, it could also be a workplace type of situation for a lot of you guys. They have been watching you working on something. May that be you working on a hobby. For example, you go somewhere and you work on a hobby, or you work on a craft or something along those lines. So I feel like this is like a man or a woman that has been observing you, okay? They have been on your social media, or again, if it has not yet happened, it will happen in the future, where they already watched you on social media, doing your thing, or they already like saw you at your workplace. You are like on your computer, you're doing stuff, you're taking calls. I don't know what your job is, but they have been like watching you, you know, from afar. They have been looking at you as you're working on stuff, okay? They have been, you know, like, I'm also, this is so weird because, but I feel like it's cute because they've already noticed like your little quirks. For example, this is the type of man or the type of woman that knows what you order at a coffee shop, because they have been, you know, like, how do you call it? They have been observing you, like you always take the cold brew coffee or whatever. Does that make sense? Or they notice that you always take the strawberry lemonade or something along those lines. Or they already notice like, or they already know like your scent or your perfume. Like they can differentiate your perfume from other people's perfume. So there's something about this person is very detail oriented, where they already observed you, they already analyzed you. So they already know like little quirks. Or for example, that every time you drink your coffee, you have like a mustache out of like milk, and they've been seeing that from afar, that you always do that and you never notice that you have like a mustache out of milk. This is the energy that I pick up here. Or they have been noticing like your favorite color, because you always wear the same color, or you have a lot of stuff in your favorite color. Okay, this is what I'm picking up here, okay? For others of you, they have been watching you working very, very hard, or they perceive you as a very hard-working person, okay? Something about they have been seeing you sweating, they have been seeing you working on something, or being very like, being very focused, okay? Now, I want to say some random stuff that I pick up here. So I pick up an energy here where for some of you guys, you are a natural beauty, meaning that you like the no makeup look, or you don't mind going outside without makeup, okay? For others of you, I pick up an energy where you have a hint of being a tomboy. Of course, if you are male, I'm also gonna, you know, explain what I see here. But in case you are female, I'm also seeing an energy where for some of you guys, you sometimes have a hint of being a tomboy. Or again, for example, for some of you guys, I pick up an energy here of maybe you like to wear your natural hair, especially if you are, you know, like black, or, you know, African, or African American or something along those lines, where it's very common to wear wigs. This is just, I'm not saying there's anything right or wrong with it, because there's no judgment on my channel. I just want to say certain things so that you know this is your pile, okay? So I pick up an energy of like, someone here likes to wear their natural hair, okay? Or something about someone here also has like curly hair, like where I'm also seeing something about where you sometimes wear your hair straight and sometimes it's curly. And again, this man or this woman notices it, like, oh, she's wearing straight hair today, oh, she's wearing curly hair today. Again, this is a person who has been observing you, okay? And again, there's a little twist to who your future spouse is. So I'm also hearing someone here speaks Spanish or speaks Portuguese, or you are like a Latina or Latino, okay? For some of you guys, I'm seeing an energy here of, again, you like to wear your natural hair. For others of you, there's something about a no makeup look, or a natural makeup look, or something about you don't mind going outside without makeup sometimes. And I feel like they have been watching you or seeing you without makeup, okay? For some of you guys, I also feel like an energy where you put a lot of energy into skincare, because I'm seeing your future spouse noticing how your skin is glowing. Something about your skin is glowing, or your skin looks very healthy. And even if you tell me I'm not there yet, but I'm like, I do practice self-care, but I'm not so happy with my skin yet. This might be around the time where your skin really is responding very well to a product that you use. Something about like your skin improves very, like your skin is gonna glow, or your skin is gonna look really, really good. Or again, for some of you guys, you are on a journey to improve your skin, is what I'm picking up here. And around the time, like your future spouse will notice this, kind of like you like to practice skincare, because maybe they see you like, I don't know, like I'm talking about it, because again, they are around you, okay? So they notice a lot of things about you. So maybe they notice that you really like, that you are really into skincare, or they're gonna notice that your skin is very, like your skin glows. For some of you guys, I'm also seeing something about you really like to wear juicy lips, like wet lips, or like a, how do you call it, like lip gloss that makes your lips look very wet and juicy, is what I'm picking up here, okay? And for others of you, something about you are really into highlight, like putting a lot of highlight on your face or something along those lines, because we have practice self-care and you will start to glow, okay? Something about glowing skin, or something about them noticing that, you know, like something about, you know how men think that you don't wear makeup, but you do wear makeup, but it looks like you don't wear makeup. This is also what I'm picking up here, okay? So somebody here might be into the no makeup look, or the clean makeup look, or something along those lines. It doesn't have to be for everybody, okay? For others of you, you could be brunette, you could have black hair, you could have brown hair, dark brown hair. For some of you guys, I'm also picking up the energy here of, that you dye your hair a lot, or that you, how can I explain it? Because I'm seeing somebody here dyeing their hair from blonde to black, which is a big jump, okay? It's like a big transformation to go from blonde to black. And there could be an energy where your future spouse will see you like changing your hair color, kind of like a big contrast. Does that make sense? Where they see you for the first time with blonde hair, but then around the time where they, you know, like observe you and they think about, should I approach him, should I approach her, should I approach her not, you know, like they wouldn't see that you changed your hair from, you know, like a blonde to black, okay? And they're really gonna like it. Or something about a dark aesthetic where you embrace your dark feminine energy somehow, some way. So there's kind of like a change maybe in your style or in your clothing, that it is a little bit darker than usual, or you start to really like the color black around that time. Again, even if it doesn't resonate with you right now, this is a future, this is like a prediction. So there could be, if you notice, for some odd reason I'm very drawn to black colors, or I want to dye my hair black and stuff like that, and it comes out of nowhere, maybe you're going to remember this pick a card reading, okay? So again, for some of you guys, you could be brunette, you could have brown or black hair, is what I'm picking up here. For some of you guys, I'm also picking up something about Tommy Hilfiger. I don't know, like something about Tommy Hilfiger, or maybe your name starts with a T, or Tom, Tommy. I'm also being brought to kind of like tomboy, like where you like to wear sweatpants, or you like to sometimes wear, like, be a little bit tomboy-ish, is what I'm picking up here. Or you sometimes like to wear oversized stuff, or something about, I'm hearing something about where you're not necessarily overly feminine, or something about you do something that is very boyish. Does it make sense? Kind of like lifting weights, or something about the way that you dress, like you like to wear sweatpants, for example. Because for some odd reason, again, this is like a, if I would have given him a chance, then, you know, this would have been like a romance. And he had a crush on me for months before he actually approached me, and I knew it, but I kind of like, I also, you know what the funny thing is, there could even be an energy where you think, I feel like this person has a crush on me, but then you tell yourself, yeah, I'm just, you know, exaggerating, like not everybody has a crush on me, or just because he or she's nice to me and smiles at me, I don't think he has a crush on me. Does that make sense? And because you don't respond to him or her, because I feel like an energy where they would try to they would try to show you that they like you, but it would be like very subtle. So you would be like, I don't think that they really like me. Maybe they're just friendly. Maybe they just want to be friends. Maybe they just want to have somebody to talk to at work. And maybe they just want to kind of like, even when they are new in town, and it's kind of like where you come up with excuses, kind of like, oh no, he or she's just talking to me because she needs or he needs somebody to show him the town, or he's new here. He's just looking for somebody, you know, to talk to connect, to resonate with. And you tell yourself like, no, I don't think he has a crush on me. Something about, no, I don't think he has a crush on me. Like he or she would try to show you that they have a crush on you, but you will like downplay it, like, oh no, I don't think he has a crush on me, or I don't think he likes me, you know, or something about, I don't think I'm his type. Again, there's a twist to it, you know. And then they will think, this is so funny, it's like typical TV show, TV series. And then they would think, maybe she just wants to be friends. Maybe pie number one just wants to be friends. Maybe pie number one just wants to be like doesn't want to have anything to do with me after work. Does that make sense? So there's like it's like brewing, okay? This desire is brewing. But again, I feel like for a lot of you guys, your true love and your future spouse will actually feel like you are their true love. So they will have this feeling that you are the one for them. But I feel like maybe it takes a little bit of time for you to catch on to it. Or again, they have been observing you maybe a month before they actually like walk up to you, which is the reason why they will fall in love with you faster than you, because they fall in love with you from afar, okay? And you don't even know their name, okay? I'm hearing the song by 𝘸𝘖 𝘉𝘌, I Need a Girl. Yeah, I'm hearing the song by 𝘸𝘖 𝘉𝘌, I Need a Girl. Okay, I need a girl. So come on, baby, won't you holler back? I'ma tell you what I need. I need a girl that's gonna be my baby. Okay, so, and I remember it was by the beach and they were playing volleyball. Volleyball? Do you call it volleyball? For some of you guys, you could also meet them at the gym. Someone here could meet their true love and their future spouse at the gym. They have been watching you at the gym. Okay, for others of you, I'm picking up an energy of like, if you go to like a course or a class, but I'm being brought to kind of like soccer, football, volleyball, or something along the lines where you go to a class to kind of like in a group. Yeah, this is what I pick up here. It's like in a group, okay, or something about a group activity. So again, your true love and your future spouse will feel like you are the one for them, or they will have like a strong feeling that they are falling in love with you, or something about kind of like where they look at you and they notice like the little quirks and stuff like that. And they kind of like an energy where they would try to get your attention, but they don't want to be like too much, or they don't want to do too much, but they will have this strong feeling that you are the one for them, okay? Something about, I'm also picking up an energy where they're going to be very drawn to like, because I feel like you might have workaholic tendencies, okay? You might have tendencies to be a workaholic. You might be somebody who you really like working, or you really like to make money, or you are, again, something about you could also be into stuff that is usually for men, for example, fixing cars or building furniture. God, sorry guys. Sorry guys, my cat was in front of the door, but now I know why I channeled the song by 𝘸𝘖 𝘉𝘌, because it says, shawty where you at, shawty where you at. But the reason why I channeled this song was, oh, you mean so much to me and I don't even know your name. This is what I'm hearing. You mean so much to me and I don't even know your name. But I'm your man, you are my girl. If I'll ever meet you, I will give you the world. Or something along those lines. Baby, please believe me when I tell you that I need a girl. So come on, baby, won't you holler back? So he says again, oh, you mean so much to me and I don't even know your name. You see, this is what I'm picking up here. They're gonna be like something about where they're gonna, it's like they're gonna creep up on you, or maybe they want to find out your name but not ask you like specifically. So they might be asking somebody around you, hey, what is pile number one's name, or something along those lines, okay? I love it. I really love it. But what I wanted to say is, for some of you guys, I'm also picking up an energy here where you have something about you are very religious or you are very spiritual, and it shows like you have tattoos. I'm seeing like somebody wearing a necklace with a cross, or something about you have like how do you say it, praying, a necklace to pray. Or do you guys know what I mean? I don't know how you call it, but it's like a it's a chain made out of beetles. It's to pray. This is what I'm being brought to. I'm seeing like a cross or something about very religious tattoos. I'm seeing religious tattoos, or I'm seeing spiritual tattoos. So they will notice that about you. Something about they're going to be very, very drawn to you because you are very religious, or maybe you post a lot of stuff. Something about where it is, people can see that you are either religious, you believe in God, or you believe in like spirit or something along those lines, and they're going to be very, very drawn to that. So I do feel like your true love and your future spouse is either very religious, or spirituality and religion is very important to them, which is the reason why they're going to be so drawn to you, because they have been looking for a God-fearing woman or man, is what I'm picking up here, because it says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringings and spiritual path, you see. So there's something about they will notice. Do you see, you guys see, like I because I'm trying to explain to you how they feel, but all I'm channeling is like what they see when they look at you. So that tells you how much they look at you, if that makes sense, okay? So again, I feel like they would try to kind of like, first of all, how they're gonna feel about you. They will feel like they want to know a little bit about you, like they don't want to embarrass themselves like approaching you and then you are in a relationship or you have a boyfriend. So they will ask people, or they will, for example, they will look at your hand if you have like a ring, if you are married, for example. So they're not going to ask you like, hey, are you married? They're going to look at your hand and you're like, why is this guy looking at my hand? Does that make sense? For example, the guy that was interested in me at my old workplace, this could even be somebody at your old workplace, like you guys used to work together, you guys used to go to school together, and then you guys are going to end up meeting again. This is literally what I'm picking up here. So for a lot of you guys, your future spouse is already around you, or they already live in your town, they live in your neighborhood, they live next to you, but you guys never see each other because they maybe have night shift and you maybe have day shift. Does that make sense? So I'm picking up the energy here. For example, the guy that was interested in me, this French man, yeah, he was trying to get my attention, so he started to play music. He started to sing and stuff like that. Like he something about where they will feel like they want to somehow show you how they feel without doing too much, okay? Because I feel like they feel like they don't want to bother you, so they could be seeing you a lot of times when you are busy. Again, they feel like you are a busy bee, or you are a workaholic, or you love working, or something about you don't like to get bothered while you are working, is what I'm picking up here. Okay, for some of you guys, you could literally work in construction. Do you call it construction? Yeah, you could be working in construction, or you could be an architect, is what I'm picking up here, or you've done something along those lines in the past. For others of you, you might be working in the beauty industry, meaning that you do something with beauty. You might be a hairdresser, you might do lashes, you might do makeup, you are like a makeup artist. Ooh. Someone here wants to go to Disneyland, or something about you love watching Disney movies, because I'm being brought to a makeup artist, and he talked about how he met his true love and his future spouse at Disney World or at Disneyland. So this could be significant for somebody here. Okay. For others of you, I'm picking up that you work like in the medical field. For some of you guys, you could be a nurse, or you could be, you both could be. If you do work in a hospital, I feel like your future spouse is also working in a hospital, or they might also be a nurse, or they might also do something in the hospital. No, hospitality means something different, right? You know what I mean, like in the medical field. So someone here also works in the medical field. May that be spiritually, where you maybe do hypnosis on people and Reiki and stuff like that. And for others of you, it's literally like, for some of you guys, you might even be studying something that is connected to psychology, or something about a surgeon, a doctor is what I'm picking up here, a nurse. So again, I do feel like your true love and your future spouse, they're gonna feel like I feel like pile number one is the one for me, but I don't know if pile number one feels the same way about me, because again, it's kind of like you don't notice that they have a crush on you. You have a crush on them, but you don't notice that they have a crush on you. But then you also don't want to look like a fool, so you're going to act extra cold, for example. Does that make sense? So there's like a whole telenovela. It probably takes a few episodes for you guys to, I don't know, like notice that you guys really like each other is what I'm picking up here. Okay, with the true love, but again, they will feel like something about they cannot stop looking at you, and they're gonna be like, why am I like, I'm hearing them talking to themselves like, oh my god, I'm such a creep, or like, I cannot stop looking at her, I need to stop looking at her, I need to stop looking at pile number one because she's gonna think I'm like a creep, is what I'm picking up here. And then you're like, and then I hear your conversation, you're like, why is he looking at me? Do I look shitty today? But you're gonna think like they look at you because, I don't know, something about where it's, I feel like it's gonna be awkward, but it's also gonna be funny, and it's also gonna be like, I don't know, me personally, I love it because I'm a sucker for TV shows about romance and how people finally come together, and it takes a while. I love it. Yeah, so they will feel like, I don't know why I cannot stop looking at pile number one. You know, like something about where they want to talk to you, but they also want to kind of like gather information about you before they actually talk to you, is what I'm picking up here. Sorry guys, my nose is a little bit itchy because my cat, she loses a lot of hair, or she's like a very hairy cat. That didn't make any sense and it sounded ambiguous, but anyway. Let's get a few more cards here. So yeah, they will feel like something about, I feel like they're gonna be very drawn to you because again, there's something about where you're not, something about where I also pick up an energy here where someone here you are, they're gonna be drawn to you because you're not overly girlish. Does that make sense? When you're like, ew, you know, I don't want to touch that, or something along those lines. And there's nothing wrong with being super duper girlish, but I feel like you have a tomboy energy to you. Even if you wear pink and you look like a princess, you still do something that is very like tomboyish. Like maybe you're you like to drive motorcycles. It's a very manly or very like masculine thing to do. Does that make sense? Or something about you go to the gym and you lift weights, or for some of you guys you are very into cars, like you love cars or something along those lines, or something along those lines where you do something that is a little bit tomboyish, or you have like a masculine energy to you. For some of you guys you love sneakers instead of high heels. Like even if you have like a pink dress on, you still wear sneakers. Does that make sense? Something along those lines, and I feel like they're gonna be very drawn to you. And again, there's something about like where you guys treat each other as though you are friends, but you're actually kind of not. Okay, so meaning that you both have feelings for each other, but you're gonna think, oh my god, my nose, I feel like I have 1,000 hairs on my nose. Hold on guys. You guys, I also pick up an energy here where you like to eat salads. Not that you're necessarily on a diet, but maybe you are, there's something about where you want to watch what you eat. Again, for some of you guys, it is maybe because you have a strict diet, because maybe you know, you are doing something where you kind of like something about your food. For some of you guys, you could be vegan, pescatarian, keto, something along those lines where there's something weird about your food, or you don't eat everything. And for others of you, I'm picking up the energy where they notice that you really focus on your health, or something about they watch you eating salads every morning, or maybe you drink a smoothie every morning, or maybe something about you eat a, how do you call it, like very healthy breakfast, because for some odd reason I'm being brought to a healthy breakfast. And again, they see that you eat healthy breakfast because they're watching you. Okay, let's see. How is pile number one's true love and future spouse going to feel about pile number one? Okay, they're gonna feel like, I don't know why I cannot stop looking at pile number one, like where they almost feel like, why am I so obsessed with pile number one? Why do I have to like watch her or him all the time? Like I cannot stop watching, you know, I need to stop, is what I'm picking up here. For others of you, I'm also picking up the energy here where they feel like you are a workaholic, or you work a lot, and I'm literally hearing them, like you guys have a conversation and they say like, hey, let me take you out on a date, like you work really hard, or something about where you express that you had a long shift or your week was full of work, and they're gonna be like kind of like where they want to take you out because you work a lot, or you're the type of person to kind of like to take extra shifts or something along those lines. And again, they're gonna feel like they want to make you happy by taking you out on a date or something about, hey, you know, I want to, you know, invite you to dinner or lunch, you know, after work. And you're gonna be like, is he just friendly, or does he have a crush on me? He has a crush on you, okay? Because look at that. I was asking Spirit and your spirit guides how your future spouse is going to see you, and look at that energy. This is literally him watching you as you are working. Do you see that? He's literally watching you, or he or she's literally watching you. So again, for some of you guys, it's not at work. For others of you, I feel like it's something about the gym where they literally watch you on a treadmill. They watch you lifting weights and stuff like that. In case you are like super duper into fitness and gym and health and stuff like that. Yeah, so they literally watch you at work, but again, they feel like you are a workaholic, or you work too much, or you sometimes do too much, or something about where the company really is running because of you, or something about where you put the most effort into something is what I'm picking up here. For some of you guys, they could also be watching you studying. Like if it's not work, this could also be like in university, where they always see you in the library. They always see you reading books is what I'm picking up here. Okay, but again, they will feel like you are working too much, or you are a workaholic, or you study a lot, you study too much, or something about where you don't give yourself a break. You really do a lot is what I'm picking up here. You see, there's something about where your future spouse will look at you and they will feel like there's like a lot of pressure on you, or something about the only reason why you know, everything is working in the you know, everything is working in the companies because of you. Like you hold everything together. Even if you're not the manager, you might just be like the coworker that motivates everybody, or something about because of you, your company hits numbers, or something about if it wasn't for you, nothing would work out. Or for example, sometimes when you are sick, like the whole everything comes crushing down at your workplace, or something along those lines, or where your workplace always calls you to come in because nobody's reliable but you, is what I'm picking up here. Okay, because if I look at this card, it looks like where a lot of people want to talk to you. Do you see that? Something about where your future spouse will look at you as like, again, as kind of like a boss energy. Again, even if you're not a boss, they just feel like you should be the boss, or you have like this energy of like a boss or a leader, or a manager, or where you manage everything, or something about people usually come people usually come to you for advice, or you have to talk to a lot of people. Your time schedule is booked and busy and booked. Maybe you take a lot of calls or something along those lines. You could also be multitasked, like you do a lot of things here. For some of you guys, you really love sunglasses, or you're into sunglasses, or you have like a sunglass collection. For others of you, you could meet your true love and your future spouse in the month of, I mean like in summertime, because I'm asking how they see you, and we have sunglasses here. This is not going to be for everybody, okay? 7 of Wands, but they also see you as somebody who's like a little bit defensive, again, where you don't have time for bullshit. Okay. But now if I look at this, it's also, I'm also hearing paparazzi. Okay. Let me see what else is coming through here. How is pile number 1's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pile number 1? One more here. Yeah, look at that, the Ace of Cups. You see, this is what I was talking about. Okay, the Ace of Cups is kind of like they're going to feel like they usually don't, kind of like where they're not the type of person to get obsessed, or they're not the type of person to observe people, or this is usually a person who's very focused, kind of like where they cannot focus because you are there. Every time you enter the room, they cannot focus. Okay, they cannot focus on what they have to do. And I'm even seeing, like, for example, like their manager or their boss calling them into the office. What is going on with you this month? You know, like, I don't know what's happening. Like, where's your head? Do you know what I mean? Where they get cussed out by their manager or their boss because they have been, you know, like watching you or something along those lines. Or they start daydreaming about you. But with the Ace of Cups, again, they feel like they've never felt such a strong pull to somebody. Okay, or something about, I'm also picking up an energy here where they feel like you are glowing. Something about, again, maybe it's like your highlighter, or you really like highlighter, or something about your eyes are glowy or glowing, or your lips are always like glowing, or something along those lines. But when we talk about glowing, this could also be where they see how the sun is like hitting your cheekbone, or where the sun is hitting your lips. Okay, this is what I'm being brought to. How's my number one's true love and future spouse gonna feel hard on? Ooh, looking at you makes them rock hard. Even the thought of you excites them, making them come so hard. Ooh, for some of you guys, it might be a little bit hard for them to like, again, they're gonna have like a lot of sexual thoughts about you, but they're gonna be like, no, I'm at work, I need to focus. Do you know what I mean? Or something about where they get very aroused around you, so they might even have to be a little bit careful not to get a boner, or not to grow something between their legs or something along those lines. If she's a woman, she does get wet when she hears your voice, or when you know, like walk past her, is what I'm picking up here. And this also tells me, for some of you guys, there's really something about the gym. I pick up a very strong energy of a gym here, or something about again, soccer, football, something about sports. Okay, could also be where you like to go to football games or to soccer games, and that's this tomboyish energy that I pick up here from you guys. Okay, let's see. How's pie number one's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pie number one? You see, I cannot make this up. Look at that. Hidden. Do you see that? Oh my God. They don't want to reveal their true feelings, but there is a fire that burns deep inside them that's just a matter of time before they break. They might even try to hold back their feelings because, again, there might be an energy where, again, it's kind of like it's strictly financial, or you guys are at work, or, for example, that's what I'm picking up is something about where you cannot have romance at work, or they don't want to have any romance at work, or it might cause like problems, you know, when you guys have a romance at work is what I'm picking up here. Okay. Oh my fucking God. This is what I was talking about. Patiently waiting. I cannot make this up, guys. Okay. It says, they're in no rush to have sex. It's important to them to wait for the right time when they don't want to ruin their chances with you. You see, so something about where, again, maybe for some of you guys, you could literally start off as like acquaintances and friends, and they don't want to, you know, like ruin things by telling you like, hey, I get hard every time I see you. Okay. Yeah, but they're gonna feel like you're the one for them. Especially, I'm also picking up an energy because they have been looking for a religious or a spiritual man or woman. So they're going to be very drawn to that, okay? You could also have a lot of talks about the Bible and God and the universe and spirituality, okay? For some of you guys, they could be seeing you at church. Or you guys could go to church together, or do something like go to something spiritual together, like a spiritual event together as your first dates, which is beautiful. Okay, how's pie number one's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pie number one once they see pie number one? Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune. How are they gonna feel about pie number one? Six of Swords. I don't want to freak you out, but what do you see here? You are like, do you see he's right behind you? Okay. So again, there is some type of twist here, who this is. How is pile number one's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pile number one? Yeah. In the beginning, they're gonna feel a little bit rejected by you, but I feel like you don't do it on purpose. You're just really not realizing that they like you. Or maybe, for example, you hear rumors that they are married, even though they're not married, so you're a little bit cautious, but it was a rumor. They're actually not married. Does it make sense? There's something about where in the beginning either you're not going to notice it, or you're going to be very cautious with them, because again it might be at work or something about where you hear that this person is how do you call it, where you hear like a rumor about them. But let me see, how's pile number one's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pile number 1? Yeah, they're gonna wait. I'm hearing they're gonna wait their turn. Again, for some of you guys, it's like a person from the past, and you might be in a different relationship around that time, or you might be dating somebody. Okay, I'm also seeing them actually getting jealous because you are going out with somebody here. Okay, so there's a hint of jealousy. They could also be noticing that they have to speak up because they do get jealous. Okay, they're gonna feel like they want to wait. They want to wait for you, or they want to wait until it's their turn, or until they have a chance with you. Because again, there is something, this could even be somebody who, for example, they're only going to tell you that they like you when they quit their job, or when they go to a different, literally. Another thing that pops in my head, because that's how spirit talks to me. And again, you're gonna have you're gonna feel like, I feel like he has a crush on me, but I'm not sure. Okay, and you're gonna be like, I don't want to look like a freaking fool thinking he has a crush on me, you know. And then they're gonna be like, why is pile number 1 not noticing that I have a crush on her? Okay, but I remember at my old job, again, there was a guy, he was on his last day. He quit his job on his last day at work. He actually sent me a message via kind of like, we had like a group chat, not a group chat, we had a chat where you could like send a message to another coworker to talk about something, to talk about work, for example. I mean, of course, you should probably talk about work, but you could chat with another coworker. And he sent me a message that he's about to quit, or today's his last day, and now he's going to a different company and stuff like that. But he said like, I find you really cute, and you know what I mean? It's kind of like where they wait until they work elsewhere to approach you, because maybe it's not allowed to, you know, have a work romance, is what I'm picking up here. Or something about you guys are in university and you have a crush on each other for years, but only after your degree, or after, you know, you graduated, they actually express to you that they like you. Something is going on here. I don't know what it is. How are they going to feel about you? One more? Yeah. Okay. This is so funny, because I pick up an energy here where they're gonna be around you, but they're almost gonna act like, I almost want to say where they're gonna pray like you notice them, or they're gonna pray that you see them as the one, or something about where they act as I'm literally, what is that? Because I'm seeing them like, how do you call it? I'm seeing them like praying that you see them as the one, or something about, because look at that, or they act as like a spirit guide around you, where, for example, something about every time you feel bad, they are there. This is, wow, this is literally, you know, in movies where a woman or a man is going through something and nobody's around him, but only this person, like for example, you feel like you're fainting because you didn't drink, and they're gonna be there with a bottle of water. Or for example, you drop your books and they're gonna be there to help you pick them up, kind of like as if they are a spirit guide, or maybe spirit is actually sending them to you as like a protector, as a spirit guide, is actually what I'm picking up here. Or something about like you forgot your keys, so you don't get into the door, but they're gonna be there like, hey, you know, like, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, thank god you're here, I forgot my keys at home, you know, I could have never opened my office if it wasn't for you. This is what I'm picking up here, because again, with the health checkup, something about their sexual, it says their sexual, these are like 6 cards, but I use them differently. So again, there's something about like when you have a cold, they're gonna be there. When you forget your keys, they're gonna be there. When you need a ride somewhere, they're gonna be there. Does that make sense? That's basically, I even pick up an energy where spirit is telling you all of that, so that you notice, or that it's kind of like signs that they are the one. They're just gonna be at the right place at the right time every time you are going through something. You might be sick, you forgot something, you need a ride, I don't know, like you missed the bus. They're gonna be there like, hey, like they're gonna wait for you for the next bus so that you feel safe and secure. Okay, now we also have here the card and also flip like the gender, because it's written in one way, but you can just flip it. Instead of he, think about she, or the other way around, or they. Sorry, or they. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, my nose is really fucked up today because of the cat hair. So it says, and when he looked into my eyes, it wasn't a glance, it wasn't a praise, it was a message, it was a song. It says, it was a message, it was a song. He was telling me I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. And I had never held eye contact that long with anyone before. It was so much better than simply hearing words spoke. You see, so there's gonna be kind of like a telepathic energy between the two of you, where when you look into his eyes or her eyes, you're gonna feel like, I feel like he's in love with me, but he didn't say it. Or when they look into your eyes, they're gonna feel like, I feel like pile number one is catching on to that I have feelings for her or for him. Do you know what I mean? Where you guys like talk to each other through eye contact or across the room just by looking at each other. Like when you look at them, then you're gonna, do you know what I mean? Like it's like you guys don't speak. It's like the communication is through your eyes. Every time you look at each other, you're like, I feel like he's trying to tell me something. But he told you only by the way that he looks at you. And I don't know what the reason is that it's not like, again, there could be different reasons. There could be like an energy where it takes a while for you guys to actually like notice that you like each other, or something about like, hey, I don't want to do too much, or maybe you have common friends, or maybe it's never like the right place to do so, or usually like at work you have to work, right? So it's kind of like awkward to stand up in the middle of the shift to go to you, or you guys never have the same lunch break or the same like time schedule or the timetable or something along those lines. Okay, for others of you, I'm literally seeing them like sending you text messages and sending you like songs. For some of you guys, they could actually be like a musician. In case your true love and your future spouse is a musician or a rapper, or they do something with music, they will actually write a song that was inspired by you. So I'm literally seeing them sending you a song, okay? I'm seeing them sending you a song, and it's kind of like a love song, or it's kind of like a song about like this woman or this man that they think about, and they're gonna send that song to you. And you're gonna listen to it, you're gonna love it, and then you're gonna be like, did he write this song for me, or is he talking about me in that song? Does that make sense? And they're gonna feel like, should I tell her that the song is about her, or does it come off as like a creep? Because they don't wanna look like a creep, or they don't wanna look like they are completely obsessed with you. Does that make sense? This is what I'm picking up here. Absolutely, I'm definitely picking it up here. So something about they will send you like songs that remind them of you. So they might even say the song reminded me of you, and then you listen to the lyrics. So they could be dedicating a lot of songs to you. They could actually write songs, or like be a songwriter, be a singer, and they will like dedicate something to you. Okay, is what I'm picking up here. For others of you, again, there's something about you guys will have a lot of eye contact or stare at each other very often before you actually like talk to each other. So this might be something about where you guys have a crush on each other, but from afar, across the room, looking at each other. Like you're gonna be super duper excited to go to work or to go to this coffee shop because he's always there and you're always there, and you're gonna be like, oh, he should be here already. He's always here at 1 p.m. or whatever. Does that make sense? Something along those lines is what I'm picking up here. Okay. Basically, pile number one, they're gonna have a crush on you big time, but I feel like something about where they fall in love with you from afar. They will notice like little quirks and little things that you do, or every Tuesday you eat salad and stuff like that is what I'm being brought to. Or something about will feel so inspired by you that they're gonna write a song or write a poem, and they're gonna actually show you this poem. So something about where they will show you something that they worked on, but it was inspired by you. Okay, so for some odd reason, I also pick up an energy of like this. These are signs that they are the one. I might actually change the title because I don't know. I feel like I talked a lot, but yeah, there's something about, I mean, I covered a few topics here, but I feel like something about like signs that they are the one. This is kind of like where Spirit is showing you, these are signs that they are the one, okay? But they might also receive signs that you are the one. Does that make sense? Something about where maybe they ask Spirit or they ask God, show me a sign. Is she the one for me? And they receive signs and then they're like, oh my fucking God, God told me that pile number one is the one for me. You know, does she know she's the one for me? God told, or something about, am I tripping or is it just in my imagination? But I asked God for a sign and here's the sign. But does pile number one know she's the one for me? Okay, for some of you guys, they might actually be very like, how do you call it? They might actually be super duper confident, telling you on the first date, you're gonna be my wife, or something about they call you wifey like very fast, or like something about like do you know what I mean? But it's kind of like in a joking way, okay? For some of you guys, they might actually say that, but I feel like it's in a joking way or kind of like in a funny way, or something about they're gonna say that under their breath, or maybe you guys are both tipsy, you go to a party and they would say like, oh, I would love to have a husband like you. I would love to have a wife like you. And then you drive home and you're like, what the fuck does that even mean? Do you know what I mean? But you know, it's kind of like, even if they say that under their breath or as they're tipsy, it's kind of like their soul knows that you are the one, but kind of like where your logic has to catch up or catch on to it is what I'm picking up here. Or it could be for you as well, where you're like, oh my God, I would love to have a husband or like a wife like you. But maybe for some odd reason, again, it's like circumstances mean that there's some type of circumstances where you guys are not like together, okay, in the beginning, because we have here full circle moment. Okay, something about your future spouse is going to feel a full circle moment when they meet you, when they see you for the first time, or when they have a date with you for the first time and then they're driving home. So this is what we're going to look at on Patreon. We're going to see what this full circle moment is. What are they realizing? Because I don't know, but I'm invested in the story already. So pile number one, if you are interested in that, the link is down in the description box. We're going to look at the full circle moment here. Okay, so I'm gonna see you there, and if not, thank you for being here. I'm gonna see you in my next one, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye. Now my lovely pal number two, welcome to your reading, guys. So we're tapping into the energy of your future spouse. I don't know how I'm gonna title this reading. I actually thought I'm gonna title it kind of like how your future spouse, I have a deja vu, how your true love and your future spouse is gonna feel about you, like once you guys are meeting or when they see you for the first time. May that be on a date, or maybe they see you somewhere in the street for the first time, or you guys talk for the first time, or kind of like in the beginning stages, like the first 1 or 2 weeks where you guys are in contact, you talk to each other, how they're gonna feel about you, like their true feelings, what they're truly thinking and feeling for you. But in pile number one, I talked a lot about like signs that they are the one. So we could also like, again, I don't know how I'm going to title this reading, but you're going to see, you know, by the title what I chose to use as a title. But this is what we're going to look at. Let me just cleanse the energy here. Okay. We're going to look at what are they thinking, okay? What are they feeling for you? How do they see you? Kind of like basically like their thoughts, their thought process as they are meeting you. I'm super duper excited. Pile number one was super interesting. So give me a moment here, guys. Okay. Before I begin, I want to say a few things here just to give you a confirmation that this is your pile. Okay, because Spirit is showing me like a lot of things. Sometimes Spirit wants to get the message across, and sometimes they tell me like random stuff, kind of like, I don't know, you're eating potato chips right now, for example, and it's kind of like a spirit guide, like, hey, potato chips, you know that you know that Spirit talks to you. But anyway, so I'm seeing here somebody who likes jewelry, like you collect jewelry, or you have like a big collection of either earrings or rings. Something about you like to wear rings. Maybe you have a lot of rings. okay, or something about you have like a ring that is very near and dear to your heart, kind of like you got this ring from your grandma or your grandpa and you do wear it. I'm also seeing somebody wearing a ring as a necklace, or something about, again, something about where you have necklaces and rings that mean something to you. You might have talismans, or you might have like necklaces that have like a symbolic meaning to you. You could have a necklace with an ankh, with a cross, maybe with a bird or something along those lines, but I feel like you do it with a reason, like you have a reason when you buy that jewelry, or it means something to you, okay? So you don't just buy, I mean, for some of you guys you do, but you have like certain jewelry pieces that have a very intense meaning, or something about you have, I'm seeing a lot of rings on your hands, or a very particular ring that you wear that means something to you, or it protects you, or maybe a bracelet that protects you is what I'm picking up here, okay? For some of you guys, you recently bought new jewelry, you recently bought like a new bracelet, a new chain, or a new ring is what I'm picking up here, because I'm seeing like, you know, you guys holding hands. But do you know what I'm also picking up here? I feel like your future spouse is the same as you. Okay, so they might also wear a lot of rings, or they might have like a talisman, or like their lucky chain, or something about wearing a cross chain, or something along those lines is what I'm picking up here. So this might not just be you, it might also be them. I'm also picking up something about someone here really likes sunglasses. So I'm basically being brought to accessoires. You might really like hats and sunglasses and jewelry for your hair. Do you know what I mean? Like some people, they don't mind, they don't think about accessoires or accessories, but there's certain people that really like, you know, a pair of sunglasses, or, you know, like something about you like to put stuff in your hair is what I'm picking up here. For some of you guys, you are really into, why am I hearing sea turtle? Someone here likes sea turtles, or you recently saw a sea turtle, or something about a turtle. Okay. With this card here, I'm also being brought to a Himalayan salt crystal lamp, or something about like an orange lamp that you have at home. It's just a confirmation that this is your pal, okay? For others of you, I'm seeing something about shells, something about seashells could be significant here. Someone here really likes to drink wine, like white wine, red wine. What else am I seeing here? I keep seeing sunglasses. I saw sunglasses in pile number 1 too, but I'm seeing, or someone here might be wearing glasses. If it's not sunglasses, it might just be glasses here. Someone here also, you used to have like you used to be somebody that went out celebrating or partying a lot, or I'm seeing like a disco ball here. So this could also be, I don't know what this means, but I'm seeing a disco ball here. So maybe some of you guys, you used to be a party chick, you used to be a party guy, or you used to party a lot. Okay, your name could start with a T, with an O, or with an S. And for a lot of you guys, you have like a strong passion for old things. So I'm seeing someone here, because it says old school here. Okay, so I'm seeing, oh yeah, I'm seeing old school stuff here. So for some of you guys, you really like to wear vintage stuff, or you like to go to the thrift store. So I'm seeing thrift store, I'm seeing vintage stuff, or you have like a style that is a little bit vintagey. Maybe you like to dress like people in the 80s, in the 90s, something in the 50s. I don't know what you're into, but something about in the past, something about, you have a hint of like, you really like old stuff, you really like old movies. For others of you, it's literally like a Y2K, like you really like the 2000s, you still listen to, you know, like Y2K music, something about music in the 90s, you really like the music in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 2000s, something along those lines. Okay, I'm also hearing someone here has a Britney Spears t-shirt. I don't know, something about, this is what I'm being brought to. I'm being brought to kind of like the Britney Spears, Jennifer Lopez era, something along those lines. Okay, I'm also seeing Destiny's Child. Okay, something about a poster of Usher, Destiny's Child. So I'm literally being brought to Y2K here right now. Okay, or something about you really like that fashion or that style, kind of like from back in the days. You are more drawn to, like, also, even if you listen to like rap music, you really like old rap music like Biggie, Tupac, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and stuff like that. For some of you guys, you literally have like a t-shirt of you know, like rappers from back in the days. I'm also seeing death row here, like music records death row. It's gonna make sense to somebody here. Okay, for others of you, you could be really much into Elvis Presley or into Kurt Cobain is also what I'm hearing. Who else? Because my knowledge in music is limited, because I'm really much into, you know, I don't know much out of like my genre, if that makes sense. So let me see what else is coming through here. Oh, I'm also being brought to Marilyn Monroe. Oh yeah, I'm being brought to Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, that kind of energy. You really like it, or something about it. You recently received a sign that was somehow connected to Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe. Okay, I'm hearing diamonds are a girl's best friend, which brings me back to jewelry pieces or something about jewelry. Okay. For some of you guys, you recently also went to a stone store, like buying new crystals or something. Yeah, buying new crystals, because in pound number 1, I used this hematite stone. And for you guys, I like to use the tower here, like the, how do you call that in English? This crystal here. Clear quartz, yeah. So I like to use that one here. I'm also seeing something about Asian culture. Okay, I'm seeing something about an Asian culture, also Indian culture, Asian culture, very, very strongly, because I'm looking at the red dot in my viewfinder, but it brings me to Asian and Indian culture. Okay, and also this card right here, it's like a dragon. So some of you guys, you could be very obsessed with like Asian culture, or kind of like Asian symbolism is what I'm picking up here. Someone here could also have tattoos of Asian symbolism. And if it's not you, it might be your future spouse. Okay, I might pick up on your future spouse that they like Asian culture and they like Asian cuisine. And I talked about that energy in a Patreon reading. If you guys are on my Patreon, I talked about Asian culture is going to be significant. Someone here could also really like anime. Okay, so I'm being brought to anime, Asian culture. Okay, because I'm seeing like the dragon here. I'm also seeing something about like, yeah, statues made out of like gold and stuff like that. I'm being brought to feng shui. Oh, there's a lot coming through here, guys. We're going to start your reading in a second, okay? But I have to get everything out here. Was that everything, Spirit? Someone here already has a child. You're watching me and you already have children, okay? Not for everybody. It's just a confirmation that this is your pal. Okay, I'm also seeing a Polaroid camera. Don't know what that means. Someone has it, someone wants it. Okay, so how's your future spouse going to feel about you? First of all, let's look at the obvious. We have old school love here. So I feel like your true love and your future spouse is really going to share something with you in common, kind of like where, for example, you really like Y2K. They're also going to be very much into that energy. They love to listen to old music from the 2000s. Okay, I'm also being brought to Urban Outfitters. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So someone here, you could also have like the way that you dress is somehow connected to Asian culture. Something about Asian attire. Do you say attire? Because I'm seeing something about like a kimono, but I'm also seeing, I don't know how you call it, but I'm seeing like yeah, I'm seeing literally like you have symbolism of Asian culture on your t-shirt, or it might be them. Okay, again, there's something about you share it in common. So if you tell me I'm obsessed with Asian culture and I'm obsessed with like the history of Asia, and maybe like, for example, also like geishas and like dragon symbolism and karate. I'm being brought to Karate Kid. I'm being brought to temples where you have to walk up the stairs very up high. This is what I'm being brought to. I feel like your true love and your future spouse is in the same energy. They like the same stuff as you. Okay, they could actually literally be Asian. I'm also hearing Blasian. So they could be Asian, Blasian. It doesn't have to be. They could be Indian. Doesn't have to be. Okay, but I feel like the first thing they're gonna feel like, oh my god, finally somebody, I'm hearing finally somebody with a good music taste. Okay, something about somebody with a good music taste. Or I'm also hearing something about they're gonna notice your fashion, because your fashion again might be vintagey. You might be wearing things from the thrift store. Your style could look very much 2000s, like the Y2K, like Y2K style. For others of you, your style could look like the 90s, the 80s, the 50s. I don't have that much knowledge, or something about you could still celebrate like traditions of your culture, so you still wear stuff that is very traditional, kind of like where you mix like you know, like a jean skirt with like a very traditional you know, like how do you call it, a very traditional top. So it's kind of like you honor your ancestors, but you also kind of like, you know, rock your style is what I'm picking up here. Okay, let me see what else. Yeah, I'm being brought to like again, I'm being brought to like tattoos, something about tattoos, a tattoo studio, tattoo artist. Somebody here could be a tattoo artist, they could be, you could be. Okay, so again, I'm hearing how they're gonna feel about you. They're gonna be so happy because again, they're gonna be like, finally I can share like my passion for old school stuff with somebody. Maybe they have like a passion for thrifting, clothing. Maybe they have a passion for, again, like movies from the 90s, the 2000s. Again, maybe they dress like that, and I feel like you both dress the same, like you both have the same either music taste, or you both have the same fashion taste, like you both look like perfect together in a picture is what I'm picking up here. Oh, that's so funny, because when I stopped recording pile number 1, I had to exchange the batteries, and I heard the song by 𝑗he𝑛𝑗𝑜𝑦 𝑇𝑎𝑘𝑒, Picture Perfect, you are picture perfect to me, and now I'm being brought to kind of like a picture. So first things first, they're going to be very, very drawn to your style is what I'm picking up here, because again, it's like a little bit, you don't follow trends, you just do your own thing. Like you do your own thing because you wear old stuff, or something about you embrace something vintagey is what I'm picking up here. I'm seeing your future spouse. How are they going to feel about you? So first of all, pile number 2, I'm seeing like the energy where they're going to notice that they feel very, very, how can I explain that? It's kind of like when you guys, when your hands are touching each other, it's kind of like they could have a very strong urge to hold your hands is what I'm picking up here, or something about, they're usually not the type to hold hands, but with you they're going to be like, I don't know why I have this urge to hold pile number 1's hands, or something about, they could also be very drawn to your hands, something about they find your hands very sexy. Again, we talked about it, right? Something about they find I'm also hearing somebody who has tattoos on their hands. That's why I'm seeing your hands here being significant. I'm seeing them taking your hands. Oh my god, that's cute. I'm seeing them taking your hands, and they look at your rings, okay, or they look at your tattoos on your hands, okay, and as they do that, oh my god, this is so cute, and as they do that, it's kind of like they feel something in their heart. They feel like a spark as they hold their hands, because again, I feel like, because the King of Pentacles is not necessarily the type to be romantic, so they could be noticing, oh my god, I didn't know, like, why am I so romantic? Like I'm hearing, why am I so corny all of a sudden? Like they're gonna be shocked about how corny and romantic they are, because they usually are not, or something about they usually don't have the urge to hold somebody's hands, or something about where they cannot help but kiss your hand, and then when they look back, they're like, oh my god, this was so fucking corny. She's gonna think I'm such a corny dude. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, oh my god, why did I kiss her hand? But in that moment, it's like they were not in control. Does that make sense? So they, you know, like they couldn't control it, but they, for example, again, start to kiss your hand, or they start to grab your hand, and looking back, they're gonna be like, oh my god, this was so fucking corny. What did I do? Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like the King of Pentacles, again, they're not necessarily like the most romantic one. The King of Cups would be very romantic. The King of Wands would also be romantic, but more in a nasty romantic way. Like the King of Wands would hold your hand because, you know, they want to be close to your body. The King of Cups would literally be like, oh my god, I just want to hold pile number 2's hands. But the King of Pentacles, again, is not necessarily somebody who, I wouldn't categorize them as the most romantic one necessarily. It depends. Okay, so they're gonna be like, oh my fucking god, why am I so corny? So they could notice that every time they are around you, they become very corny, and then when they then drive home, they're gonna be like, I was so corny. I hope pile number 2 doesn't think that I'm like a, I don't know, like a, you know, such a corny dude or such a corny girl is what I'm picking up here. So they're gonna have a strong urge to hold your hand, or something about wow, I'm hearing your hand fits perfectly in mine. This is so weird. I'm hearing like they're gonna notice that your hand fits perfectly in their hand. Or something about where they have a strong urge to hold your hands and it's unusual for them. Okay, so I have here a spiritual woman. It says big heart wants you to win a free spirit. These are my cards. I created them myself. I love them. Okay, I'm gonna show them to you in a different video. They're gonna feel like I'm hearing you're the most spiritual woman they've ever met, or something about where. And it's funny because Jhené Aiko is quite a spiritual woman, and also her music is very spiritual. I don't know why I keep picking up something about music, or something about where I'm seeing you playing music and the music that you play touches them in their heart. Does that make sense? Something about where they're gonna be so drawn to your playlist or the music that you listen to, because when you play your music, it's like it touches their soul, like the lyrics is what they feel, or it touches their soul. There's something going on with music being played in the background. Okay, okay, listen to me. This is what I was picking up here, because I'm picking up the energy where your true love and your future spouse is gonna be like, oh my god, like I feel like I'm starting to become like very romantic. So it's gonna be unfamiliar for them to be so romantic, because with the Chariot card, listen to me. So I pick up an energy here where for some of you guys, you might be meeting on a dating app. Again, not for everybody. Or you might be meeting at a place where people go to date. So for example, at a club or at a bar. It doesn't have to be. But to me, it feels like where... How can I explain that? So for example, they make the decision, hey, I want to go out on dates and I want to mate. Okay, so they are on a dating app. Okay, so I pick up an energy here where your future spouse is going to notice very, 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 very fast that they start to become clingy. Now hear me out. I'm not saying that they're gonna get on your nerves and stuff like that. What I'm trying to say is they're going to notice that instead of going to bed, they are on the phone with you until 5 a.m. in the morning, and they have to wake up at 8. Does that make sense? But they cannot stop talking to you. It's kind of like they want to stay with you all the time, or they want to be around you all the time. For a lot of you guys, your future spouse is also the type of person who actually listen to me. They are actually the type of person that needs a lot of freedom. They don't get attached to people. They need a lot of freedom, or they like to socialize, but they also like their alone time. So they like to go to a party, they like to go to a gathering, but they're not the type of person to stay until the end, because they really like their alone time. So they drive home. Does that make sense? They drive home because they want to watch their favorite TV show instead of mingling with people. So they're going to notice, oh my god, like with pile number 2, I'm hearing that they don't need a break from you. They don't need time off from you. Does that make sense? And it's going to be weird for them, because usually they need to charge their batteries or something about you. And again, if it sounds like you, your future spouse is like you, okay? There could be a lot of like a mirroring energy between the two of you. Okay, so they usually feel like they need a lot of time alone or space away from people, or they need their space. Something about they need their space, and they're gonna feel like they don't need a break from you. They can talk to you all the time. They can be on the phone with you all the time. They have the desire to text with you all the time. They have the desire to hear your voice all the time. They want to be on the phone with you. They want to fall asleep on the phone with you. And it's unusual for them, because they are usually a person who needs their own space. They don't like to be around people all the time. Okay, so they're going to notice, oh my god, I'm starting again. It's not necessarily clingy, but they could have tendencies to like, again, kind of like this, where they notice like, oh my god, I'm starting to cling onto pile number 2, or I'm starting to like, I want to be around pile number 2 all the time. I want to talk to them all the time. Like, even if you guys are talking to each other, they want to touch you all the time. Does that make sense? Like, they want to feel your body all the time. They want to feel your hand all the... Yeah, this is a very touchy person. Very, very touchy person, okay? Something about they cannot keep their hands to themselves. They need to touch you. They find every reason to touch you. Does that make sense? They find a reason to touch your back. They find a reason to touch your shoulder. Something about they cannot stop touching you. I'm hearing because it feels so good. Oh, it's kind of like it feels so good to like to hold you or to feel your skin, okay? Something about, I'm hearing, I don't want this date to end, or I don't want this date to end. your future spouse is gonna feel like it was one of the most beautiful dates ever, okay, with the dating card here. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Something about this is the best date that they've ever had. Okay, but another part of them, again, one part of them is like, I'm all in, like I want to see pie number 2 7 days out of 7 days a week. Something about where they're going to have like this craving or this urge to see you every day. They're going to tame it. They're going to, you know, like because I'm hearing them talking to themselves, like calm the fuck down. Like they're going to talk to themselves and they're going to say, calm the fuck down. You just met this person. Okay, something about like don't jump the gun, calm the fuck down, because with the expectation and the child, okay, I pick up a strong energy here where your future spouse practices not to have expectations with people. Again, if you tell me, Cynthia, this sounds like me, you guys are both the same, you know, you are a bumblebee, they are a bumblebee, okay? So you both have the same energy. So they could be practicing not to have expectations with people. Like they go into connections very innocent, like as innocent as a child. Like I don't have any expectations. I'm just here to have fun. I'm just here to, and I'm not saying it's not in a way where they are a player. It's in a way where they don't want to have expectations, or they don't want to put their expectations on another person. Like, you know, I want something serious with you. So do you know what I mean? Like they want to be like, they don't want to scare people away, or they just want to be like, hey, let's see where things go. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, okay? That's the type of energy that I get from them, okay? Now, I pick up a strong energy here where your future spouse is going to be, they're going to be a little bit surprised. Why? Because I'm seeing, how can I say that in words? You see? Like I'm stumbling. They're probably going to be a little bit speechless, or they're going to be like, where the date with you was so different that they don't know how to explain it, because I'm seeing them talking to their friends, okay? And they're going to be like, hey, how was the date? And it takes them like 1 or 2 minutes to even like open their mouth and speak, because the date was so different with you. Why? Because I pick up an energy here with the King of Pentacles. Your future spouse could be somebody that is popular. They could be somebody who is wealthy, stable, very good with making money, very good with, you know, their finances are like top notch, okay? Or something about they could be a boss, they could be self-employed, they could be in front of the camera, or they could just have like really nice things. Do you know what I mean? Like they could really have nice things, or they, listen to me. There's also this energy here where your future spouse, and again, I feel like you guys are mirroring each other, because they might look like they are materialistic just because of the things that they own, or because of what they have achieved, or maybe even their style, because they really like to put effort into their style. So then people think this person is not humble just because they like to wear flashy things. But a person can be humble at heart, but they really just like bling bling. But it doesn't have to be that they're like spoiled in their heart. They just like to, you know, play with outfits and stuff like that, right? So they could have that energy, as well as you could have that energy as well. But what I'm picking up here is like, they're going to be very shocked about the date with you, because usually people ask them very, so the questions that people usually ask your future spouse is like, they could also have been going through a lot of gold diggers, okay? Or something about like where a person is asking them, what do you do for a living? Or something about how much money do you make? What do you do for a living? Or how can you afford something like that? Again, because they might have a nice car, they might have a nice watch, or they might just look like, I don't know, I feel like this person has money, okay? Even if they don't, okay? But people then, the questions that people ask your future spouse are surrounding that, kind of like, oh, you know, you have like, or something about compliments, you have a nice watch, or you have a you look nice, or something along those lines, or you have a nice style, or what do you do for a living, or you look like you do something on social media, or do you know what I mean, where the questions are very much based around like what they do for a living, how much money they make, or something like that. And again, they could have also gone through their fair share of gold diggers or opportunists, because they have a lot, okay? So they're very used to like questions like, oh, you know, you drive a nice car, or something about, I don't know, like to which barbershop do you go in case he's a guy, or something along those lines, okay? So it's kind of like superficial questions, like what do you do for a living, or something about how much money do you make, or how can you afford this, or you look like a model. It's kind of like something about status. Like all these questions are about a status or status symbol. And with you, then they go on a date with you. Then they go on a date with you, okay? Pie number 2, they go on a date with you. And they're gonna be shocked because you ask them questions such as, what is your favorite color? I'm literally hearing a conversation between the two of you. So they're gonna be shocked. Like it's almost as if they already studied what they're gonna say when they are on a date with you, because again, I feel like it's an energy of like going on a date together, okay? Going on a date together. So the energy that I pick up here feels like your first date. Pie number 1 was a completely different story, but yours feels like your first date. So they already studied, or kind of like where you are so used to certain questions that you already know what you say by heart, like you already know the answer to the question. Does that make sense? So you already know they're going to ask you about your job. So you already have this in mind, like, okay, they're going to ask me about my job and I'm going to say this and that and this and that and this and that, right? They might actually be somebody who likes to prepare themselves because they don't like to be they don't like to jump into the cold water. Like this could be a person who's a perfectionist and they need to like prepare themselves mentally or something along those lines. So they might be like, okay, this person might be asking me about my job. Okay, how can I avoid that question? Or how am I going to respond? So they kind of like learn what they're gonna say when they meet you. Not for everybody, but or they could just have a hint of like where they feel like, oh, I already know what pile number 2 is gonna ask me, so this is my answer. Like they already have an answer in their mind. Now then they meet you and you start to ask them questions that nobody has ever asked them before. Kind of like, what is your favorite color? Or what is your zodiac sign? Or when were you born? Kind of like you might be my people where you want to know this person's birth time and birthday to see like what's happening with their birth chart. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay, so you might be asking them questions kind of like, what is your favorite element? Would you be a water bender, an air bender, a fire bender, or an earth bender? Like you ask very weird questions, okay? And you're gonna ask questions that are so weird that they're gonna be like, oh, I did not expect questions like that. Do you know what I mean? People usually, the first thing that people ask this person is like, what do you do for a living? How can you afford a car like that? You look like you're on social media, or something about a status symbol, or you look really nice, or I like the way that you dress, but it's very superficial. And then your questions are like something about, what is your favorite animal? What is your favorite color? What is your favorite food? You know, like you ask different questions. Or like, for example, I'm even hearing you asking a question like, what is your favorite song? And then this person tells you what their favorite song is. And then they ask you, why do you ask me that question? Or like, something about like, I wasn't prepared for that question, or something along those lines. And then I'm hearing you say, because you can learn a lot about a person based upon their favorite color or their favorite song, or their favorite song shows what they're currently going through. Does that make sense? So they're gonna feel like you analyze them, or they're gonna feel like you see through them, like you ask questions about their soul and not about their life. And they're gonna be like shocked about it, because people usually ask them how much money they make, or how work was, or something along those lines. And it's like your energy is like so refreshing. I'm seeing you here I'm seeing you being very bubbly, or like I'm seeing your eyes being very bright, like a child. Exactly. This is exactly what I'm picking up here, okay? I'm not saying that you are childish. I'm just seeing like the curiosity of a child. A child is not asking you, what do you do for a living? A child is asking you, what is your favorite color? Right? A child is asking you like, what is your favorite ice cream, or something along those lines. And then people that like vanilla are like this and that, and people that like chocolate are like this and that. Or people with their favorite color, when their favorite color is blue, then they're this and that. Or something about where you say certain things like, I'm seeing that your aura is green. And they're like, okay, so what, a person that has a green aura, what do you say about people that have a green aura? And you guys have questions, you have like conversations about that. And I'm seeing like, I'm seeing your eyes being super duper big, kind of like a child, like, you know, you want to ask these questions and then their eyes are also going to get big because they feel like you know more, or something about where you can read them like a book, or something about where you know them better than they know themselves. But it's like because you ask questions, does that make sense? You ask them questions and then they realize, oh, pile number 2 really know, like, how can pile number 2 know me so well just after one conversation? Does that make sense? Or something about like you ask them questions and you make them realize things about who they are. Like they never asked themselves what their favorite fruit is, or something about like, do you know what I mean? Or something along those lines is what I'm picking up here. Or something about you give them, like, you analyze them and you're spot on with how you analyze them. But I also feel like they do the same thing to you. You're both the same. Something about you guys are going to be so curious about each other. Something about like they're going to look at you as like a super curious person, and your questions are super duper interesting. You ask questions that are like, oh my god, like they excite me, you know? So they're going to feel super duper excited about the questions that you guys ask each other, or something about you guys are like, it's almost as if you psychoanalyze each other. They analyze you, you analyze them. And I'm seeing you guys looking into each other's eyes and you're like, okay, I'm gonna read his eyes now, I'm gonna read his body language, and they do the same thing to you. Oh my god, I find this so fucking funny. Oh my god, I feel like this is gonna be a goofy date, because it's kind of like you guys cannot hide anything from each other. You might be trying to hide stuff, but you actually can't. Okay, this is what I'm this is what I'm picking up here. Or something about you guys are going to be so surprised about how alike you are. You might like the same, you might have the same favorite song, you might have the same favorite number. You might have like the same, like, again, the same passion. Like, I love Asian culture and I love dragons. I also love dragons, you know? Or I love like anime and they also like anime. And then you even have the same favorite anime show is what I'm picking up here. Okay. And then I'm seeing them like being a little bit nervous. So I'm seeing them then driving home, but it's kind of like they don't want this date to end. They don't want this day to end. Like they don't want to go home. Something about like they already have to go home, or something about where they cancel like their plans. Like for example, they meet you, but they also have like you know, another appointment with their friend, and then they're like texting their friend like, hey, you know, like they're gonna find excuses not to come so that they can spend more time with you. Something about they don't want to go. I keep hearing something about I don't want to go, I don't want this date to end, or they're gonna cancel plans for you so that they can stay with you longer, is what I'm picking up here. Okay. I'm also seeing them putting a jacket on you. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm seeing them. Okay, I'm seeing them putting something about where I feel like, listen to me, this is also a sign for you guys, because I feel like you both are gonna forget that you are wearing his jacket, or if you are a guy, you're gonna give her your jacket and you're gonna forget it, and then she's driving home with your jacket. I don't know why I saw that, and I'm seeing a green jacket here, like a or something about the color green, dark green. Someone's favorite color could be green or dark green, or you are very drawn to the color green right now in this very moment here. Okay. Someone's name could also be Alex, or something with an A, like Alex, Anthony, Amanda, Amy. Why did I hear anaconda? Someone here could like snakes maybe, or snake print could be significant. Let me see what else is coming through here. What is that? Let me see. Yeah, someone here could also like neon colors, something about neon colors. Someone's favorite movie could be Matrix, or something about you really like to, oh yeah, that's what it is, science fiction. Something about you both could also have like a passion for science fiction movies, kind of like Matrix, or something about, yes, I'm being brought to science fiction. Okay, I'm being brought to science fiction energy here. science fiction books, science fiction movies. What is that? Okay, I was just thinking that I channeled something, but nothing came through. Another thing that I'm picking up here is that, oh, by the way, this reading is also going to have an extended in case you are interested in it. The link is down in the description box, so I'm going to extend this reading. Don't know what we're going to do in the extended, but I'm going to let you guys know by the end of this reading. So the card here came out, I cannot hide my lust, but it is in reverse. So there's a strong emphasis on okay, listen to me. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. I feel like your future spouse does not have a problem meeting people. But when they meet people, these people are either their compliments are very shallow, or something about, again, they only want to know about their money and their status symbol, like, ooh, nice car, you drive a nice car, or, you know, like, since when do you have this car? It's like, it's stupid questions, and it's like they're over these stupid questions. It's like, who the fuck cares, you know? This is what I'm being brought to. And I pick up an energy here. Again, there's also something about, oh, that's what it is. Okay, so I feel like your future spouse is, they get very, it turns them off when a woman or a man is overly sexual, kind of like, you know, that type of energy, or where a woman is like overly, I'm not saying sexually free, but when she's trying too hard, she's doing too much. Does it make sense? She's doing too much, or she's trying to impress him with her boobs or her butt or something along those lines. He's not into that. He doesn't like that at all. And again, it's not about being seductive. It's just over the top, too much. They don't like it. If your future spouse is a woman, she doesn't like men that, you know, like lick their lips and like come too close and like, do you know what I mean? Or like check you out from, you know, like very obviously. They don't like that. Or it's just like, I don't know, they just feel like, well, you know, do you know what I mean? Like they don't like it, or they usually have people like that lust after them because of their body, or that lust after them because of what they have, their money and stuff like that. And I feel like an energy where your date is gonna be so innocent, like they're gonna be so shocked about how innocent you are, or you ask like very innocent questions, or something about like you guys don't even talk about sex. Like usually when they have a date with a woman, I'm seeing a white dress here. I feel like you're gonna wear a white dress on your date, or somebody here bought a white dress, or something about the color white. I literally saw you wearing a white dress right now. What was that? So you might come across a white dress very soon. Okay, you might come across a white dress very soon, like on sale or as you're shopping. I'm literally seeing it here, and I feel like you're going to wear it on your first date. Interesting. Or you're going to wear a dress on your first date or something. It doesn't have to be a white dress. Okay, they could also be wearing white on your first date. It's a sign for you. Something about the color white. Or they might be wearing a dress, but I'm seeing a Marilyn Monroe type of dress, okay, for some odd reason. Anyway, so something about a white dress. You're going to find a white dress very soon, or something about you're going to wear a white dress here. Okay, or the first time that you see each other, you have a white dress on. It might not be your date. It might just be like, oh, you guys meet each other in person for the first time. You have something white on, or like a white dress. Anyway, so when they usually go on dates, the woman usually tries to seduce him. She's overly like seductive. She's doing too much when she's walking. She's like, it's too much. It's not seductive anymore. It's just like, it's theater. It's like theatrical. It's a theater. It's not seduction. It's theater is what I'm hearing, okay? And they're gonna be shocked because you don't do any of that. Like, you literally just want to have fun. You just want to dance. You just want to talk. You just want to know who they really are. And they're gonna be so shocked about how innocent you are. Does that make sense? But then that's why they're gonna be so sexually drawn to you, because you don't do any of that, okay? Something about like, you're not overly sexual. You're more so like playful and funny and goofy, and they're going to be so drawn to that energy. So you're going to be more goofy than sexual on your first date is what I'm picking up here. Let me see what else is coming through. How is pile number 2's true love and future spouse going to feel about pile number 2? Let's see. I'm hearing like you don't put on a show. I'm hearing the song by The Weeknd. You make it hard like it's magic. 'Cause I see nobody but you. Hey, 'cause I'm so used to being used. You see, this is what I was saying. This is what I was picking up here. This is also what I was trying to say here with where in case they are on a dating app, they will easily notice that they're not interested in texting with anybody but you. Or something about they have options, but no option is like, nobody is like interesting them really. So they're easily kind of like where they put all their eggs in one basket when they meet you, kind of like when their friends might be telling them, hey, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because I feel like they're going to talk to their friends after this date. Okay, we're going to talk about it in a second where the gossip card is here, or we might actually talk about it in the extended. But I feel like maybe their friends are telling them, don't put all your eggs in one basket, or hey, you just got into, listen to me, this is even an energy where they just got into dating again. And you might be one of their first matches, or you might be one of the first women or men that they meet, and their friends might be telling them, hey, you cannot just take the first woman that you meet, or you cannot just take the first man that you meet, or something about like explore your options, or something about like I'm hearing, did she put a spell on you, or something about like, why do you just go on a date with one person? Like you can also go on a date with 2 or 3 other people. How do you know like that there's nothing better out there than you? And they're going to be like, I'm not interested in anybody else. Like I don't even get a boner, or I'm not even sexually like drawn to anybody. Like do you know what I mean? This is what I'm hearing the conversations that they have with other people, or maybe even in their head. It's kind of like they don't want to put their eggs in different baskets because you're the only one that sexually attracts them. They don't feel attracted to nobody, even sexually, nothing, okay? So they don't even see a point in going on dates with other people. And they might be telling that to their friends, like, I would go on dates with different people, but I don't feel nothing. Like literally, I'm numb when I meet other people. I only feel something when I'm with pile number 2. So I don't see any point in doing that, but let's see. Something about where they're going to feel like you don't care about money. I'm not saying that you don't like money. I'm not saying that you are, do you know what I mean? Because I'm not saying that you act as though we don't need money, because we do. Unfortunately, it is like that. We do need money, right? I'm not saying that you act as though money is not important, but what I'm saying is your questions are so different. Like you ask, do you believe in aliens? Have you seen something supernatural ever again? Or something about like, what do you think about life after death? Like really questions that are interesting, you know, exciting, that open up a whole conversation instead of like, how was your day? What do you do for a living? How much money do you make? You look nice. Like what kind of conversation is that? Okay. So, yeah, they're gonna be like, oh my God, like she didn't, kind of like where they noticed you didn't ask one question about money. You didn't ask one question about like the car that they drive. You didn't ask one question about like what they do for a living. Or even if you do it, it's not your first question. Does that make sense? And they're going to notice that with the 5 of Pentacles, something about, they could even feel like you look materialistic, but you're the complete opposite. Like something about where you look fashionista, or you look like you like money, or you dress very well, or something along those lines. You look very well dressed, but you don't, no question was about money. Like there was nothing, or something about where they have like a radar for materialistic and opportunistic people, and their radar was off. Like they felt nothing, no vibe of a gold digger, no vibe of somebody who's an opportunist or materialistic. They feel nothing when it comes to you, and they're gonna notice that, like, oh, I don't feel any materialistic vibe from pile number 2. And they usually do feel a very materialistic vibe from people. And they're very cautious with materialistic people. They probably have like a bad history with opportunists and materialistic people. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here. Let's see, how's pile number 2 gonna feel about, how's pile number 2's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pile number 2? This is, do you know why this is so funny? The card that came out, it says role play. Because I saw, you guys know the song Earned It by The Weeknd, right? And I saw the scene where the woman has like an X on her booty, like on her butt cheeks, like an X. You guys know that, right? So wow, I'm also being brought to netfish. Something about netfish could be significant, like a netfish outfit, or something about transparent outfits or something along those lines, or like a transparent top. But this is literally what came out here. I cannot show too much, but do you see? It's like her butt cheeks are out. This is literally what I saw. Okay, and the card says these are SEX cards, but I use them like intuitively. It says they want to see you take on a different character or dress up differently for SEX and engage in a game of seduction. We talked about it. I feel like you guys are going to seduce each other, but not necessarily like by being overly sexy, but by doing the opposite. Okay, this is so interesting. So they're gonna feel like I feel like your true love and your future spouse is gonna feel like the opposite, like you don't pretend, or you are not theatrical. Something about like you don't, it's not like a role play, like you don't wear a mask. Yeah. Or you don't hide behind a mask. You could also be very honest. Like they could also notice that your answers are very honest. Your answers are like very deep, thorough, and very honest when you answer. It's not like a, I don't know, I feel like they're gonna be very shocked about the way that you speak, or something about like your answers. They're a very like, again, something about where you are not an Instagram page where everything is shiny and beautiful. You are a vlog that is messy, and you know, the camera falls down. You know, just an example, if I could describe the energy, you are more like a vlog, like the ups and downs and everything is out in the open, instead of like a perfect Instagram page. How's pile number 2's true love and future spouse going to feel about pile number 2? Chill. It says they can't separate sex from emotions, and sex does not always equal love for them. Told you. Sometimes avoiding intimacy altogether. Ooh, you see? This is interesting. I feel like both of you are gonna be like that, okay? Kind of like an energy where you guys are goofy with each other, and like very easygoing and goofy. But maybe the both of you have a tendency to, again, where you feel uncomfortable being romantic. So you're going to say, oh my God, I'm so corny. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like, I'm hearing this is my first date in a long time. I'm also hearing this is my first relationship. I just heard it. Oh, that is interesting. I'm hearing this is my first date in a long time, or this is my first relationship here for someone here. Something about the first. Not gonna be for everybody, okay? Let me see what else is coming through. Ice Cube. We have an Ice Cube here, and Ice Cube is like an old rapper. Okay, I'm hearing the song Mr. 𝘖 𝘉𝘉. I don't know why. You bring me this, bring me up, bring me down. Mr. 𝘖 𝘉𝘉. Let me see. How is pile number 2's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pile number 2? Yeah, we have here gentle love making, you see. Oh, that's interesting. We have here in the bedroom they enjoy slow and gentle love making to really tune deep into your body and savor the moment. So they're gonna feel like they want to be gentle with you. Maybe they see you as, yeah, something about, oh, I'm also being brought to kind of like where they have like a, they're gonna feel like you are very soft. Now, I'm not saying that you are weak. I'm saying that you are soft, or something about you have a very soft voice. I'm also hearing like a bedroom voice. I'm hearing a bedroom voice, or something about, yeah, this is what I'm picking. Yeah, okay, listen. I'm being brought to like a bedroom voice, or something about the voice that you have when you wake up first thing in the morning. Something about they're gonna find it very sexy, like your bedroom voice or your voice first thing in the morning when you send a voice message is what I'm picking up here. Or something about, oh, do you know what I'm picking up here? I feel like you're going to open up about that you've gone through a lot. 10 of Swords here, because I feel like your future spouse is going to see you as somebody you went through a lot, or you have a very, 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 very dark past. And you might open up about your dark past, which is the reason why they're going to be very gentle with you. Does that make sense? Something about they want to be very gentle with you because they know that your past was harsh, if that makes sense. We also have here shy lover. It says they're naturally shy about sex and has a hard time coming out of their shell. So they could be feeling like you have a hard time coming out of your shell, or that you are shy, or something about like you have a shy energy to you, but they like it. They're very drawn to your shy energy because they usually go on dates with men or women that are very theatrical, very like over the top. So when you're like shy or secretive, they could also feel like you're secretive, or you have secrets, or you sometimes avoid questions, but it makes them even more nosy, where they want to ask the question again a different time to see if you're now ready to open up. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here. So they could be very, very drawn to you being shy, or very, very drawn to, yeah, something about where you are very shy and you're the opposite of theatrical. Something about, again, we talked about it, where they want to read you, but sometimes they can read you, and other times they're like, it's like she's a closed book. Like, you are an open book and a closed book, but it's on a different day, it's a different energy. So on one day you are an open book, the next day you're closed. That's what I'm picking up here. Okay guys, we're gonna get one last card, and then we're gonna look at the gossip card here in the extended. Let's see. How is pile number 2's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pile number 2? Let the journey begin. The Fool. I'm hearing everything is so different about you. The way that you dress, the questions that you ask. I feel like it's gonna be a goofy date. Very, very goofy. Okay. So it's very innocent. It's not overly sexual. There's something about it's not overly sexual. You both are very sexual, but you suppress it. Okay. They don't like to be seen as a guy who always checks out a butt or boobs or something like that, is what I'm picking up here. Or again, it's kind of like where they're very drawn to you just being goofy and funny, instead of overly sexual, where you have to use your body to get everything, or something about where, because I feel like this person, your future spouse, feels like maybe they got manipulated before by a sexy woman or a sexy man, so they're very cautious about that. They could also be abstinent, where they haven't had sex in a long time, is what I'm picking up here. Okay, let me see. How is pile number 2's true love and future spouse going to feel about pile number 2? Look at that. When the soul craves intimacy, not the body, but the soul. Do you see that? Obsessed. Okay. How are they going to feel about you? They're going to feel like nobody ever read them or analyzed them so fast. Like, I'm hearing Speedy Gonzalez, where you analyzed them in just one day, okay, or something about where you know more about them than their friends or their parents or their family. Okay, something about where they feel like nobody knows me or understands me like you, and it's scary. Kind of like an energy where you analyze them so fast in a blink of an eye. I'm also seeing I'm seeing the energy of Justin Bieber here, to be honest with you guys. So maybe some of you, I'm seeing like maybe there's Justin Bieber music. You like Justin Bieber, or you like Justin Bieber music, or somebody's name could be Justin or start with a J or a B, like for Justin Bieber. Okay. And I'm also seeing like a strong energy here of, so there's something about where they're gonna feel naked, but not in their body, but they're gonna feel naked with their soul. Okay, so they're gonna feel like you exposed them, or something about you exposed who they are, like the good and the bad. You might also be like, when you say something about, like, for example, Scorpio people are usually very cautious and suspicious of people, and they're gonna be like, yeah, that sounds like me. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like where you expose them, or they feel very naked in front of you, like with their soul. They're gonna feel like you know them in and out. Now listen to me. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. They're gonna feel like you know them in and out, but a person who knows another person in and out, there's a fine line between, we talked about it, right? If you know a person in and out, you can manipulate them. So they could be a little bit, I'm not saying that they think you're gonna manipulate them, but I feel like the energy where they're gonna feel like you have a lot of power over them, or something about, they're gonna feel exposed. They're gonna feel like, oh my God, you know, Power number 2 really knows me. Like, I don't even have to say anything. She just reads me. She says what I think. She just reads me. And it's like where you are very powerful with reading them or analyzing them. And they're a little bit scared. It intimidates them how good you are at reading them. I'm also hearing something about, like, will you still like me when you know everything about me? So I don't know. I'm hearing somebody, it might be you asking them that question, or they might be you asking you this question, where you ask them a question and they're going to be like, I cannot tell you. And then you say why, and then this person's like, because I don't know if you will still like me if you know this about me. But I feel like it's not like I'm not picking up an energy where it's like a big secret, or do you know what I mean? But maybe it's like, maybe they do something that is very controversial, or maybe they have, like, again, a past. Maybe they don't want to talk about their past because it's controversial. I don't know what this is about, but I feel like an energy here where they're gonna be a little bit like intimidated. The 9 of Wands is kind of like, do you see? It's kind of like, I want to go on this journey, but I'm also kind of scared because it's kind of dark there. Okay, so it's kind of like, I'm hearing cute but psycho, and I'm not saying that you're a cute but psycho, but I'm hearing psychology. So something about where a person who is, you know, when you can read somebody so easily, that also means you can manipulate people very easily. Does that make sense? And they might be like, oh, you know, like, I don't know, can I trust these eyes? Something about, can I trust these eyes or can I not? Is what I'm literally hearing, okay? So pie number 2. I'm going to extend this reading now on Patreon. We're going to look at the gossip energy here. I don't know what this gossip energy is about, but we're going to look and see what this is about. So if you are interested in that, the link is down in the description box. And if not, I'm going to see you in my next one, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile number 3. Welcome to your reading, guys. So as you can tell by the title, but as I'm filming it, I'm not really sure how I'm going to title it, because pile number 1 was like, whoa. Pile number 1 was all about like signs that pile number 1 will receive, or something about how they will notice that their future spouse is their future spouse. But basically what I have in mind as I'm filming is we're going to look at how your future spouse is going to feel about you, especially like the first days, the first weeks. You guys meet each other and the connection is super duper fresh. Like, for example, the first time they see you in person, your first date, the first 1 or 2 weeks when you guys are talking is what I'm picking up. So the beginning stages, or the early stages stages of your connection is what I want to talk about, or the beginning of your love story, how they're going to feel or what they're going to think. We're basically tapping into their thoughts and their feelings around that time when it comes to you, or how they view you, or what's going on in their mind. Okay, so give me a moment here, guys. I want to channel I want to cleanse first of all, and then I'm going to channel, and then I'm going to show you the cards here and there in case you are new. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening here. So, first things first, every time I say first things first, I think of Nicki Minaj. First things first, I eat your brain, cause that's what the motherfucking monster do. Okay, so someone here could really like Nicki Minaj, or your name could start with an N, or maybe your name is literally Nicki. Okay, I'm seeing someone's name could start with an N as in Nancy, M as in, I don't know, Mariah. Mariah Carey could also be significant here. I'm just channeling, but first things first, I want to tell you guys, oh, the color pink could also be significant here. And a swan. A swan as a spirit animal. Maybe you have been seeing a lot of swans or ducks. A swan and a duck. Okay, don't know what the fuck that means. So the first thing that I want to tell you guys is you are definitely my traveling, overseas, long distance, meeting as you're traveling type of pile. Because I feel like in every pick a card reading I have one pile that is long distance, or that is like my traveling pile. And you're definitely my traveling pal here. Something about meeting your future spouse as you are traveling. There's going to be a long distance type of situation between the two of you. Maybe they might not even live in a different country, but they might live like 2 hours away from you in a different city. Does that make sense? So it doesn't have to be across countries, but they might just live like 2 hours away from you. You have to take the train to go to them, or something along those lines, okay? Or literally meeting as you are traveling. That's the first thing that I want to say, okay? How's pile number 3's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pile number 3? So the first thing that I pick up here is I picked up 2 songs with you when I was shuffling. So first of all, I was hearing I don't wanna wait in vain for your love. So there's something about impatience because you guys are at a distance, because we have here the card, the star, and she has a telescope. I don't know how much you can see. Let me actually try. Yeah, you can see the telescope right here, right? So you can see the telescope here. And then we also have the card here, relocation and long distance travel, which is very obvious. But before this card even came out, I heard the song Ayo Technology by 50 Cent and Justin Timberlake. Something about where they don't want to use technology anymore to, like, something about where it's like it's painful for them to only watch you and not be able to touch you. Okay, so again, this is definitely my long distance type of situation here. I also was brought to the song Wait in Vain by Bob Marley. So someone here could really like reggae music, or someone here could also have dreadlocks or locks. Not for everybody, of course, just a confirmation, like extra confirmation here. Okay, so I heard I don't wanna wait in vain for your love, and in that music video from that song, there's this guy, or this, it's like a little boy and a little girl, and they meet each other by the beach, but they both come from a different country. So you could literally meet this person as you are traveling in a different country. And in the music video, and they spent a day together by the beach, and then she had to go, and he was looking for her, and he had like a picture of her or something about they took a picture together. So he was walking around for a few days to find her, and he showed everybody this picture. Did you see this girl? Okay, so there could be an energy where your future spouse is actually gonna feel like they're searching for you. How can I explain that? For example, again, you guys meet, and they want to find out in which hotel you are at, or something about where they wait for you in the cafeteria because you both are in the same hotel. So they're trying to kind of like catch you because you guys spent a really beautiful evening by the beach or something along those lines, and now they're trying to find you in the hotel, or they're trying to find information about you. That's one scenario, okay? For others of you, again, there's something about long distance because I'm being brought to Ayo Technology, where someone uses technology to like look at somebody, or there could also be something about, I'm gonna be very honest, something about phone sex, or something about a video call, like sex on the phone, or like video call. Do do you say video call sex? You know what I mean, something like that. But I actually want to look at the lyrics. And in the song Wait in Vain, he says, from the very first time I placed my eyes on you, girl, my heart says follow through. And there was literally something about an airport. So for some of you guys, you could actually meet your future spouse at an airport or something. Yeah, okay, if it's long distance, you might actually really meet in person the first time at an airport. That's why I'm picking up the airport energy here. Okay, so let me see what this is about. So Ayo Technology, it says something special, unforgettable. He says, Ayo, I'm tired of using technology. I need you right in front of me. Ayo, I'm tired of using technology. Why don't you sit down on top of me? Ooh, she wants it. She wants it. For someone here could also be a sex worker. Not gonna be for everybody, but someone here could be a sex worker, or someone here could work in that type of industry. Okay, no judgment on my channel. I'm just saying that I picked that up here for somebody, or you used to be a stripper, or you used to do something like that. Mostly being somebody who could also have OnlyFans is what I'm picking up here. So I'm picking up the energy here where they're gonna feel like they cannot wait to see you, or something about like something is urgent. Okay, so I'm picking up the energy, I have to find pile number 3 before I leave. Like something about I have to find her before I leave, I have to get her number before I leave. Something about they're gonna find like the urge. Like, do you see that? I talked about Ayo Technology. What do you see here? Like, he cannot touch it, he can only watch it. Okay, so there's something about like they're gonna feel a lot of pain. Listen to me, you're reading completely different, but I pick up an energy here where they're gonna notice how much they love you, or how much feelings they have for you, is because like the separation is very painful. Kind of like you spend, for example, 1 or 2 days together, but they go to the airport and you go to the airport, and it's like they're gonna feel pain, and they're gonna be like, why is the separation so painful? I don't even know this person, or we've just spent 1 or 2 days together, but it's so painful. So they're gonna notice like that there's something special about this connection, because they feel like a lot of pain because of the separation between the two of you. Does that make sense? They're gonna feel like they don't want to leave the country. For some of you guys, they might actually gonna stay longer for you, or they're gonna stay like 1 or 2 extra days for you in this country, because they want to spend more time with you is what I'm picking up here. But again, there's a strong emphasis on they're gonna feel a lot of pain because they know that they have to go home, or you guys have to separate, or you have to go to the airport, they have to go to the airport. So there's something about like they cannot wait to see you again, or they don't want to wait in vain. They're tired of using technology. They want to see you and feel you and smell you and touch you, but they can't because there's distance between the two of you is what I'm picking up here. Okay, something about someone's birthday here could be in August or August 22nd. Not for everybody, but Spirit wanted me to know to mention it. Okay, so there's a strong emphasis here on this is really painful. Now, this card here, every time I see this card, I'm letting go of control or letting go of control. I'm hearing the song, no, I don't want to fall in love. No, I don't want to fall in love with you. And I think the song is called Wicked, and it also plays by the beach. So there's something about it's either you live by a beach or close to a beach, or you have tropical roots, or maybe they have tropical roots or they live by the beach is what I'm picking up. Is something about I'm literally seeing the beach twice here now. Something about a date by the beach, a date by a body of water, by a lake, most definitely is what I'm picking up here. Okay, and again, I feel like an energy here where your true love and your future spouse is going to feel a lot of pain in the beginning because there's so much distance between the two of you. So it's kind of like it's going to be painful because they love you so much, or they feel such a strong connection to you that they're going to get very frustrated because they cannot touch you. Okay, I'm also seeing something about a surprise visit where I'm hearing they're gonna fly you out to them. Not for everybody, but I feel like they're gonna pay for your tickets to fly you out to them because they cannot stand the distance between the two of you. Okay, or something about they're gonna stay longer in your country or something along those lines, or they might be telling you, hey, stay longer, and they want to pay for the flight or the hotel because you didn't plan to stay longer. Does that make sense? Something along those lines, because with the courting man, for some odd reason I pick up an energy of like they want to fly you out, or they want to pay for your flight so that you like reschedule your flight or something along those lines. For others of you, something about they're gonna do a surprise visit, like where they're gonna fly to your country and you don't know about it, so it's kind of like a surprise visit is what I'm picking up here. Something about where they stand behind you at your birthday and you thought they are at home. Like for example, you live in Italy, they live in Paris, all of a sudden they're right behind you, and it's like a whole, like it's a birthday surprise that they are there. This is literally what I'm being brought to. First of all, again, they're gonna feel pain. They're gonna feel like maybe it's not the perfect time to fall in love, because maybe their life is very hectic, your life is very hectic. They have to travel a lot for work, you have to travel a lot for work, or you know, something about, because letting go of control from me again feels like it's not the right time, or I don't even have time for this right now, or again, where in the song he says, I don't want to fall in love. No, I don't want to fall in love. So they didn't plan on falling in love when they met you. And they're going to be like, wow, that's an awesome timing, universe. Okay. I'm also hearing, for some odd reason, I'm hearing a lot of songs. I'm also hearing the song, I just can't get you out of my head. Boy, your love is all I think about. I just can't get you out of my head. It's more than I dare to think about. Every night, every day, just to be there in your arms. Something like that. Okay, so they're gonna daydream a lot. Okay, I feel like it's gonna be hard for them to function because they daydream a lot. There could be an energy where again you guys are going to visit each other a lot because the long distance type of situation is not going to be easy for you, or something about there might be talks or conversations about moving in very, very fast, because you guys are going to be so in love that you don't want to have a long distance relationship for like 1 or 2 years. You're gonna talk very openly about, okay, you know, like when are we gonna move together? Are you gonna come to me? Am I coming to you? Or you're gonna stay at their place for 1 month, 2 weeks, or something along those lines, okay, is what I'm picking up here. So again, with the 8 of Swords, I'm hearing something about where they cannot stop thinking about you. They could even be an energy where they feel like they should stop thinking about you because it is a long distance relationship, but then they realize they can't, and then there's something special about you. So even though it's a long distance relationship and they didn't necessarily want one, they're gonna give it a chance. And they're gonna let go of control, is what I'm picking up here. Okay. We also have here chemistry. It says there's a strong, you see there's a strong magnetic attraction here. So they're gonna notice that there's like they never felt so attractive to somebody, but again, it's like, you know, it's not the right time, and you know, I have to travel and this and that and this and that. So they're gonna feel a lot of pain, but the pain shows like how much love they actually have. The pain is only because of the distance, okay? But it's like the pain that they feel being distant from you is equal to how much love they actually have for you. It's like their whole body is like, their whole body is telling them like to come to you, to go to you. It's like, do you know what I mean? And they cannot control it, is what I'm picking up here. But every time I look at this card, this always reminds me of, is there thunder or is it raining? Sometimes I like gloomy weather. Not all the time, but sometimes I do like it. So if it's gonna rain, I'm gonna be super duper happy. For some of you guys, it could also be raining where you're at. Just a confirmation that this is your pal. But anyway, so with the chemistry card, I'm also being brought to Hercules. I'm being brought to the movie Hercules. It could be a significant movie because I'm seeing them having a date by this fountain. And the lady, I forgot her name. I always forget her name, but this, I think she was a Greek goddess. So Greek mythology could be significant, or Greece could be significant, or Europe in general. She told herself she would never fall in love again after this heartbreak that she heartbreak. After this heartbreak that she's gone through until she met Hercules, right? This is what I'm being brought to. So if you want to know the energy between you and your future spouse, I would watch the movie Hercules. And again, specifically when they have their first date by the fountain, where they talk about like, what is your Achilles heel, or what is your weak spot, or they're just gonna feel like you're their weak spot. They're usually like a very strong individual, usually feel very strong, powerful, and confident, but you are their only Achilles heel, is basically what I'm picking up here, okay? But again, if you really want to know or tap into the energy, I would watch Hercules, and specifically when this Greek goddess and Hercules, they meet each other by this fountain, okay? Because there's something about like, I didn't plan to fall in love. I told myself I'm never gonna fall in love. And if you tell the universe, I'm never gonna fall in love, what happens? You fall in love. Okay. Oh, there could also be an energy of massaging your feet. Someone is massaging the other person's feet. It's going to be significant, okay? It's going to be a sign that this is your true love and your future spouse. They might start massaging your feet. Oh, it's a sign. Okay, it's a sign, because I remember that the Greek, I don't know her name, she was like holding her foot in front of Hercules, and I think he was massaging it. Even if he didn't, I'm seeing someone massaging the other person's feet, okay? So we have here burning desire. It says flames of passion ignite. And then we have memento, a gift from someone special. So I'm also seeing something about where they bring you something from your home country, or something about where they buy you like a souvenir or like a memory from your, let's say for example you guys meet on vacation, they might buy you something from a souvenir store and you take it with you home, but it's kind of like it reminds you of your time with your future spouse in this different country, or something about where they bring souvenirs to you. They might bring souvenirs to you like they're traveling, and every time they travel they bring something to you from this different country. So they could have a language of gift giving. Someone here has a language of gift giving, a love language of gift giving. So I'm seeing something about where they buy you a lot of gifts, or something about every time they travel they buy you a gift, or there's a significant gift that reminds you of your time with your future spouse in this different country, how you met by the beach, or something about they might actually even send you like packages, because you guys are going to be at a distance. So they're going to send you like your, how do you call it, like your presents by mail, or they're going to ship stuff to you, something about shipping stuff. Okay, some of you could also work in the delivery department, like you could work literally for Amazon, or something about for UPS, or like a delivery service. Okay. I'm also picking up a strong energy here where they feel like they want to cook for you or buy you gifts. So they basically want to spoil you or something along those lines, and then they're going to be frustrated because they cannot do it because they're far away from you. This is literally what I'm picking up here. Okay. I'm also hearing uno momento. Okay, I'm hearing uno momento, and it's kind of like I'm also picking up the energy here of, again, where it's like you both know. Also picking up the energy here because, again, it's going to be different for all of you, but I'm picking up the energy here where there's going to be a time where you guys have to separate or leave to go to different places. And I'm seeing them saying, wait a minute, I have to tell you something, or something about where they tell you that, you know, they want to have your number, or they have strong feelings for you before you go to the airport, or where they feel like it's their last chance to tell you that they want to be with you, or stay with you, or I don't know what this is, but again, it's kind of like a whole dramatic vibe of like, she's going to the airport, I have to catch her before she's at the airport, I changed my mind, I want to give this a chance, something like that. It doesn't have to be as dramatic as I'm, you know, talking about it, but it could have a hint of that energy, if that makes sense. Okay, something about, oh, it's not gonna work because it's long distance. They might say that to you and you feel like bummed about it, and then they like come to you again like, hey, you know, I was stupid, you know, it's just a different, like, I never saw myself in a long distance relationship, but I want to give this a chance. This is what I'm being brought to. Okay, something like that could be very, very significant here. Something about where they take your hand and where they, you know, like turn you around, you want to leave, maybe because you're pissed or maybe because you're disappointed, and then they turn you around like, I'm sorry, you know, I just, you know, I don't know how this is gonna work. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how this is gonna work. Something like that is what I'm picking up here. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Because we have the card here, I created those cards. I'm super duper like, I have like a new passion for creating my own oracle decks. And it's like the first half, and I'm gonna work on the other half soon, and then I'm gonna show you the cards in a different video. I told you guys that I'm gonna do a video about my oracle decks and stuff like that. Am I selling them? No. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it, basically. Okay, so this card here says, stay silent, you're being observed, hide your plans, move in silence. But it came out in reverse. Okay, it came out in reverse, which tells me like they feel like they have to tell you that they love you, or they have to tell you that they want to try with you, because maybe they suppress it because they feel like it's too complicated, this whole situation is too complicated, and there's going to be a moment of, wait, I love you, wait, I want to try with you. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like a stop, wait, you know, come here, turn around, or they're going to run after you, or something along those lines. Okay, or something about you sit in the plane and you get a text message like, I want to try with you, or I love you, or I want to see you again, I'm coming to you next week, I'm gonna, you know, fly to you next week. Something like that is what I'm picking up here. Okay, so kind of dramatic, but I love it. Okay, let me see what's going on here. How is pile number 3's true love and future spouse gonna feel about pile number 3? What's happening? Yeah, 3 of Pentacles here. Yeah, they're gonna feel like they want to work this out. Okay. Okay, this could also be, I'm also picking up an energy here of traditions. So someone here, you could have very strong traditions or very strong beliefs, like religious beliefs, where something about where they want to convince your dad or your mom that you are allowed to come to them or to fly to them or something along those lines, or they might be talking to your parents to get a yes or a green light from them, is what I'm picking up here. So they're going to be serious. They're going to feel like I'm hearing it's better to have loved and have lost than to never have loved at all. And that's what they're going to think. Because again, there's something about, I don't want to fall in love and I would rather not fall in love. And then they're falling in love with you head over heels. It's so painful for them to even think about a future without you. And it's like the universe, you know, like teaching them like it's better to love and have lost than to have never loved at all. Okay. Something about where they think, you know, I would rather just stay away from love. And then the pain is going to be so intense. And they're going to kind of like where they give into love instead of giving into fear of love, if that makes sense. But again, with this card, I pick up like they want to talk to your parents. I don't know why. Something about, again, if you have religious beliefs or if it's tradition for you that, you know, like, again, look at that, the courting man. Something about coming to your home or talking to your mom, talking to your dad in case you are religious and it's important before anything serious is happening. I'm seeing that here, okay? Something about where they want to talk to your mom or they want to talk to your dad to get a green light that they can visit you or fly you out, or there could be an energy where maybe, for example, you are on a vacation with your dad or your mom or your parents, and they're just going to be noticing that something is going on with you and him or her, you know. So you could be meeting their parents, or they could be meeting your parents very early on because of, you know, traveling and stuff like that. So your mom or your dad could be present. Not for everybody, of course, okay? How are they going to feel? But how is pile number 3's true love and future spouse going to feel about pile number 3? What does it say? It says hookup regret. You see, there's something that they regret doing, whether it was with you or someone else. Sexual regrets is heavily, it's like a sex deck, but I use it like that. This is what I was talking about. Okay, you might actually have, this is not going to be for everybody, but you might have like a one-night stand, and then they're going to regret it, or they thought they only wanted a one-night stand with you, but then they fall in love with you, and then it hurts like, I'm hearing it hurts like a bitch. You know, like they feel so much pain. I'm seeing them sending flowers to you or something along those lines, or like a really long, I'm seeing them writing a love letter to you. Because or something about where they couldn't tell you how they felt when you stood in front of each other, so they're going to send you like a love letter or a text message or an email. Okay, I don't know in which circumstances this is going to be, but I'm also seeing them like finding out your email address to send you an email, or they regret that they didn't take your number. Does that make sense? Something like that is what I'm picking up here, and that's why they try to find you somehow, some way. So they're going to make like a huge, I'm hearing like they're going to put a lot of effort into finding you again, in case they didn't act very early on, or something about they would try to find you on Facebook or something along those lines, or on Instagram here. How would pile number 3's true love and future spouse feel about pile number 3? There's something about regretting that they didn't tell you that they love you when you stood in front of them. And if you watch Hercules, there was also something about where she didn't tell him what was really going on, or something about where someone that's kind of like where they say this is not going to work out, because they maybe feel like for example, they feel like their life is very chaotic and they don't want to drag you into their chaos. So do you know what I mean? It's kind of like the Hercules and this lady's kind of like where there's kind of like a little bit of drama in your love story. It might even be on your end, where it's going to be very painful for them, because you're going to tell them like, I don't think this is going to work, I don't know how this is going to work and stuff like that. So it could just be like the pressure of a long distance relationship that is going to be a little bit of like a problem. But again, every time you guys want to separate, you go back to each other like a glue or like a magnet, kind of like when you pull two people, like pull these two magnets away and then they attract each other, like boom, they go back together. This is what I'm being brought to, kind of like you try to separate them and then boom, they come back together. Or something about the pain is so strong that you always come back to each other, and at some point you guys are going to kind of like you know, like move in together with each other, is what I'm picking up here. Okay, so something about they're going to know how much they love you because of the pain that they feel. Okay, because it's not going to be easy on them. It's really not going to be easy. It might be easier for you, the long distance relationship, but for them it's really not easy. They're going to feel so much pain. So they might be suggesting, hey, let's move in together at some point, you know, because they cannot take it yet. If there are boundaries, I would try to knock them down. They would be like, I will not let you see, but it's kind of like a flip-flop. So one day, again, I feel like it's just like the pressure of a long distance relationship. Sometimes it works out really great, and then other times you feel like you cannot take it, right? So it says if there are boundaries, I would try to knock them down. So they could actually come up with a plan. Let's say, for example, you don't have the financial means and they don't. They will work 2 shifts more, like, or something about where they will find a second or a third job just to be with you. Does that make sense? So they will find a way to come to you. Your future spouse will feel like, I would do everything under the sun to be with pile number 3. I'm gonna sell my car. I'm gonna get a second job. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Okay. But I feel like you will have a time where you guys are separate from each other, so that you realize how much you love each other. Okay. Something about where you kind of like experience both. You experience being in a relationship, and then you experience like being separate maybe. And I don't know in which context this will be, okay? This could just be for a few months you guys are separate from each other, and then you guys move in and stuff like that. For others of you, there might be a long time of long distance, and then maybe you guys separate because it's like too much pressure, too much like your hormones are all over the place. You have your menstruation, you guys have a fight and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So you guys are like, okay, let's, you know, long distance is not going to work out. Then you guys are separate for 1 or 2 months. And the pain is too much. You guys come back together, and then you realize, okay, let's make it serious. Let's move in together. Does that make sense? This is what I'm picking up here. One more. If there are boundaries, I will try to knock them down. I'm latching on, babe. Now I know what I have found. You see, I told you, it says, I'm stubborn but willing to change. So you both could be very stubborn coconut heads. You both could be very stubborn, very strong-willed, or like, how do you say that? Like when somebody's like super duper stubborn, someone who could also be an Aries, a Taurus. Aries, Taurus people are very stubborn. Scorpio is what I'm picking up here. You see? So I feel like you're gonna bump heads here and there because you're both super duper stubborn. Okay. But they're gonna feel like they want to change for you. Like they literally want to change their life, their job, where they live. They want to sell like their apartment and stuff like that to be with you. And I'm hearing them saying, I must be like, do you know what this feels to me like? It's kind of like where they don't want to fall in love, but when they do, they fall head over heels like bonkers, you know. And maybe that's why they don't want to fall in love, because they know themselves. They go crazy cuckoo when they fall in love. Like, again, selling their car, coming to, you know, how do you call it? Like, relocating to your place and stuff like that. Or the other way around. But I'm picking up an energy here, like, where they look into the mirror and they're like looking at themselves and they're like, oh, I hope I'm making the right decision here, but like I'm hearing my heart wants what it wants. Just gonna keep it like that, okay? But they're gonna be scared. It's like it's a scary situation for them. I'm not gonna lie, they get fearful here, okay? I'm hearing it's kind of like a casino, like an all-in type of situation because of the long distance relationship here. Okay, how is pile number 3's true love and future spouse gonna feel? Look at that. We have you fill your body with love and passion to attract your future spouse, and we have a beach here. Do you see that? Picking up something about a love letter. I don't know why. I pick up a love letter. If you read them a love letter, I feel like they're gonna cry. Even if they're a guy, like a tear's gonna drop off their cheek. Something about, I'm picking up a love letter. I don't know why. It's a love letter. It's very significant here, or like a long message. Or like literally a letter where they sent you a postcard or a letter. Okay. I'm seeing something about papers and documents and visa documents. That could also be something that is like very, could be the reason why there could be like, how do you say that, pressure because of like documents and paperwork and stuff like that is what I'm picking up here. Okay. But how are they going to feel about you? They're ready to completely change their life upside down just to be with you. And I'm hearing them talking to themselves like, oh God, I'm so fucking crazy. What the fuck am I doing? But again, and then there's also this energy of like, but the heart wants what it wants. In Hercules, they both said to each other, crazy what you do when you're in love, huh? Literally, you guys have to watch Hercules. There's something, I feel like this is the energy that I pick up here. Okay, where you both are going to do crazy things to be with each other, and people are going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You cannot sell your car just to be with this woman. And I'm hearing, yes, the fuck I can. Okay, do you know, this is what I'm picking up here, okay? One last card. How are they going to feel about you? Yeah, look at that. Do you see that? Literally, this is what I was talking about. Do you see the tears? Someone is going to make the other person cry. They're going to be like, no woman has ever made me cry, or something about a love letter makes another person cry, or something about crying because you guys have to like separate at the airport, and they're like, you know, like they're not the type to cry, but when you leave or when you go to the airport, it's like it hurts them very deeply, like they're crying, or like something about it. This could also be a sign that they are the one. You're gonna see them cry because you go to the airport or because you leave, or they could be crying because of a love letter that either you write to them or that they write to you. Or you could be crying because of a love letter that they write to you. Something along those lines here, okay? So, pile number 3, that's all I have for you guys. I'm gonna extend this reading now on Patreon. What are we gonna look at? I don't know. I'm just going to extend this reading because there's nothing specific. Pile number 1 and pile number 2 had specific topics that I wanted to talk about, but with you guys, I'm just going to continue whatever comes out, whatever your spirit guides want you to know. Okay, how your future spouse is going to feel about you, or what you need to know. Maybe there's like hidden information. So if you are interested in that, the link is down in the description box, and if not, I'm going to see you in my next one, and I wish you a lovely day. Bye.